then we'll tell people in Nigeria, please do not make mistake. Choose a better life. You have the right now. Tomorrow, not come and say, Tinubu promised us a better life. Oh, he promised us change. Look at what he's doing. Now you have the right to choose the better person. You have the opportunity. You don't have to complain tomorrow. Anybody that complains, he will be insulted. Because anywhere I want to write something, people are talking. I'll say, tomorrow, you that are saying this thing, tomorrow, when something changes, cry in your room. Don't say it out. Because we that are telling you here, not that we are hungry.
Thank you very much.
But we don't want you people to be happy.
Please quickly round up so that somebody
else
can.
What I want to say is that, please, we should measure with these people, this our logo.
Okay.
Because it's very, very important. We should teach them, let them know the logo and know that this is Peter Obi. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You really spoke a lot of people's mind using Western world to compare the way we live our life in Nigeria, and the most of all that a lot of people that are in Western world, like the US and Europe, some are still calling the name Tinubu, whereby their children are forced to go to school. You don't need to say, I don't have money to train my child. Once from the day you give birth to that child is recognized, money is being set out for that child. Everything the child needs is provided, whether you have it or not. And every agency is working. They know when to send you mail, tell you, you must provide that child. This time, come and register the child in school. It's not you that will say you want to go and be looking for. In all area, vicinity, there are schools. Because that child is captured. That child is being followed up. All the agencies are working. Still, people that live in areas like this are still supporting people that are oppressing their cousins, their brothers in Nigeria. It's a pity. It's a very big pity. Yes, I want to go back to Mr. Andrew, but before I go back to Mr. Andrew, I want to quickly recognize IP the Freak. Yes, IP the Freak. Thank you. We recognize you. Jennifer Cord B. Yes, thank you very much. Evans. Thank you as you come in, and for those that I see, I will always recognize you and give you a shout out. OKS, thank you for stopping by. Who again just joined us that I've not given a shout out. Who again? That's all for now. So I'd like to go back to Mr. Andrew because he said he has a lot to say, but he just gave us few. So Mr. Andrew, you can have the floor. Hello, Mr. Andrew. Okay, it seems Mr. Andrew is presently not close to his device, so I'll just go straight to Mr. Frank. We still have Mr. Frank here. Let me check. Okay, it's like Mr. Frank. No, we lose him. Mr. Frank is no more here. So I'll go straight to who's next after Mr. Frank. Supposed to be okay. We lose him. Bushi, do we still have Bushi? No, Bushi is gone. Brother Nice.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, I think by the order of how we came, you are the next person to talk to us because others seems not to be around. But we still have Mr. Andrew, but it seems he's busy. So, Brother Nice, quickly talk to us, please.
What should I deliberate on? Because the matter
we are still on the matter. We've not changed the matter.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's just like what I said before. Peter Obi is the right person. Let's continue campaigning for Peter Obi so that he can move Nigeria forward, become the next president. The man is giving all the opposition a sleepless night. They can't sleep. That is why all of them are coming out to castigate his name. telling us all kind of things, trying to convince Nigeria not to believe in Peter Obi. Peter Obi is become an is like an earthquake in Nigeria. I call it, this movement is beyond Peter Obi. It's like this is a EndSARS part 3. That's what I call it. So
when was part
you
2?
know,
Which one was part 2?
on Agbera part 2, my brother, in Sangbera part 2. Part 3 one on.
I'm a part 2, I'm part 3, part 2 now.
That's the reason why I said it's part 3, because the way where the thing accelerates, yeah, if from 1 accelerate to 3, you understand? So yeah, this movement is unshakable, is unstoppable, you know. So Peter Obi is going to be the next president of Nigeria. The only people that I've seen that they will try to tamper with the result of the coming election is INEC. So we need to watch INEC closely. You understand? Because this INEC, I don't trust them, because it's a cabal of APC and PDP. So, but what they did in Osun State, that's what we are still going to do. We will vote and defend our vote. When it's about time for them to call the result, we'll go and stay in INEC. We will chase all this APC and PDP away, like what they did in Osun State. So there will not be time for any of those cabal to hijack INEC. You understand? We are going to secure everywhere. You know, so Peter Obi all the way. That is all I just have to say.
All right, thank
There's
you.
nothing much to say. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You are saying that we should the Obi movement is more than what people think, and it's going to catch them unaware. It's like the way Nigeria youth gather themselves during EndSARS for asking for justice, and these sacks they are killing us. So he said that's how Peter Obi movement is like. But I think it's even more than EndSARS now, because EndSARS was little bit not too was a stereotype, like. But this one is shaking the whole country.
No, EndSARS was sophisticated, but it's just that the politicians, they infiltrate it. That's the reason why. It was
it was a stereotype. So we got that stereotype, and the stereotype is going to improve itself. EndSARS was one of itself. It has never happened before. Though we've had let Babangida go and others, but EndSARS own, the way it happened was just unexpected. They never thought it's going to really gain momentum, but to their surprise, they discovered that, man, if we don't give them bad name to hang them, this people is going to turn this country upside down. That's when they begin to give them bad name. Just like the last speaker, Mr. Ebosin, have just spoken, they begin to do it themselves and be calling it the EndSARS people have started doing. They were doing it themselves to give them bad name, to have a reason to hang them and put them out. So, but
okay,
we
Mr.
also,
Leftist, let me ask you this question. If they're not really scared of this Peter Obi movement and Peter Obi, why is it that it's only Peter Obi they always come out to castigate these APC politicians and PDP? Why is it that it's only Peter Obi they always attack? I never see them attack APC and PDP themselves.
They are scared because now they see.
So it's a question.
They see that most people are now changing. Most people want change. They've seen that they are fagged out. They are worn out. They have nothing again to tell Nigerians. They have nothing to say. We know them. We know them. They've spoken before. They've uttered it. We know them. We are still where we are. Now somebody is telling us a different thing. Somebody with little more credibility. So they now see it as a big threat. You just answered it. And before then, let me quickly go back to let them say. Let them say, please talk to us. At least Mr. Andrew, I don't think Mr. Andrew is ready now. If Mr. Andrew is ready, indicate. So let them say, please talk to us.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
ready. Sorry.
okay,
Okay.
Mr. Hans, no problem.
Yeah, apology for that. Sorry. I don't know if Mr. Nice is still on the show. Or is he left?
Mr. Nice is still here. Brother
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, Mr. Nice, when you were speaking earlier, you please correct me if I'm getting you wrong. You said God left Nigeria since 2015, and I think Lefty asked you a question, and you said you made reference to you made reference to the Western world, that most of them are pagans and as such, but they follow the Constitution. So how do you balance that now that okay, God has left Nigeria, and in the Western world they follow their constitution, even though they are pagans, they follow the constitution, and that's why things are working there. Would you be able to balance and clarify that, please?
Okay, let me clarify what I was trying to say. Okay, like in Nigeria, uh, they put religion first before the constitution. But in Western world, they put their constitution before religion, before any other thing. So that's the difference between Western world and Africa. So like a country like us, where they put religion before constitution, they need to invoke God. And why I said God left Nigeria 2015, when they took Nigeria, they vote President Buhari into power with that evil religion it came with. So you see all the calamity that falling before Nigeria. So that is why, and I said because that nation have been a lot of people that have been praying for that nation. All the pastors they have been compromised. Nigeria, those countries Nigeria has been, all those pastors have been praying for Nigeria for so long. That is the reason why, upon all the old tension that we have in Nigeria, we are still together without no division. But when Buhari came, Buhari brought division. Nigeria, we are so divided today as never before. So all the religion, all the tongues, and all of them, they separate everybody. So this is the person that Nigeria is a country that belongs to God. That prayer that they have been praying to God, that is the prayer that hold Nigeria together for long, with all the tribes and all the tongues that is in that nation. So that's why I said they took Nigeria from God, they give it to the devil when they vote Buhari into power 2015. So it's not the same with Western world. Western world, some of them are pagan, some of them are Christian, but they rule their country with their constitution. They don't mix it with religion. That's what I mean. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I don't agree with you, but I'm gonna leave that for now. So, but I don't agree with you. The is it? I believe in God. I also believe that apart from that, we have to follow what is in the Constitution, regardless. In the case of Nigeria, I mean, yes, we've had bad leaders, but let's be clear that it's because we allow it. It's because whether the elections were rigged or not, is because what we allowed it. Because some of us sold our vote. We dance around these people, and whether it is I don't know whether what they use on us, but it is what it is. I argue recently after that article video, and when he said he was a custom officer, and he started a business. Ordinarily, the man is already compromised, is vulnerable, and surprisingly, many Nigerians will still vote for him. And but if you have such a person there, you have a problem in the country. The country won't go far. In case of Peter B, he has credibility. He's been so far so good. Uh, no stain on his record. So, and that is the reason why we everybody is voting for him. Nigerians are tired. On the other hand, again, you see many Nigerians have come out even on this platform saying the Nigerian constitution is bad. We should get rid of the constitution. And recently something came to me. I said, there's one or two things. Those who say the constitution is bad, it's either they are being paid to come and tell Nigerians that the constitution is our problem so that we will not go and read the constitution for ourselves, or it's just sheer ignorance. Because the man that we want to vote for, or Nigerians are going to vote for, said, I quote, that when he was impeached, he went to the Supreme Court to get the Constitution interpreted for him, and as such, he won the case back. So there may be one or two things wrong in the Constitution that needs to be amended, but not the entire Constitution that is bad. Even Atiku doesn't even know the Constitution himself, because when he gave that speech, he said they should show him where he was asking, what's his name, Ruben Abati and those Dr. Ruben, that where in the Constitution, where is the law that says that he has a conflict of interest? And they just couldn't challenge him. But Section 172 and the fifth schedule actually highlight where Article shows where Article is conflicted, have conflict of interest. So those who comes to the show and say that the constitution is bad, or those with legal minds the constitution is bad, is that they are being paid to come and tell us that the constitution is our problem, so that you and I will not go and read the constitution, or you just share ignorance, and that is very sad.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, sir, please.
Okay, let me tell you, you're talking about constitution now. Do you think that this Buhari administration followed Nigerian constitution?
No, you say they know the constitution, but they don't implement the constitution. Okay,
very simple.
So every one of them knows the constitution, but they don't implement. They only implement it when it's convenient for them. They only use it when it's convenient for them. But here I'm talking about the masses now, just you and I. Ordinary Nigerians, because like I said, people come and say the constitution is bad, so that the ordinary Nigerians will not go and read it for themselves.
Sorry, can I ask you a question, please?
Go ahead.
It's me, Mr. Alex. With respect to, I stand on the existing protocol with the moderator, please. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Why people say the constitution is bad? Yes, I will tell you. Sometimes we must look at the whole statement in its entirety. How did this constitution come about? What is a constitution? Who wrote this constitution? Who endorsed it? From what I know, after Abacha's death in 1998, they hurriedly drafted this constitution by the military juntas. The Abu Salami, Babangidas, and Danjuma, and the rest. They came together with the help of Britain and some people sent from the international community during the interim government. That's why the constitution was drafted. That has led us to this quagmire where we are now. So why people are angry with the constitution is that they were not consulted. There were no reps from. Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multilingual, multi-religious. It's not really a nation state, according to Obafemi Awolowo. So we just wake up and say we have a constitution, which will accept it, hook, line, and sinker. So who made this constitution? How did it become a constitution? So this is why people are saying it's bad, because they were not consulted. You don't rule an empty land. You rule a nation with human beings, and they count. According to, is it Aristotle or Plato? Only the people are the philosopher king. Power belongs to the people. They ought to be there ought to be a consultation.
Mr. Alex, may I interject?
So my question to you is that how did we arrive on this constitution that we have?
Mr. Alex, you wanted to ask me a question. I gave you opportunity to ask a question, but you've not asked me a question. So may I continue?
I've asked you, how did we arrive here? Who wrote the constitution? One minute in Nigerian constitution.
Just ask a question and leave it and let me answer. It's my flaw at the moment, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Look, the 1999 Constitution was adopted from the 1979 Constitution. And like I said there are one or two things or few things not right with the constitution, but it doesn't mean that the totality of the constitution is bad. These things just needs to be amended. And I quite understand that the military put these things in place because the language sounds military. But for crying out loud, we've said this before, there's nobody with the right mind leader right now that is going to do such amendment or so carry out such things. But the constitution is not responsible for the insecurity we face in Nigeria. The
I
constitution
will
is not
just wait for
responsible.
my turn
Sir, may
before I
I
let you
finish,
answer
please,
you.
Mr. Alex? May I finish?
I'll just wait for my turn. It's okay. Continue.
All right, thank you very much. So the constitution is not responsible for the insecurity, for the unemployment, for whatever is happening in the country today. It's not responsible for it. Let's get that clear. The constitution is not responsible for the naira not having value again. The constitution is not responsible for the student not being in school today. Please, we need to put things in perspective and let's focus on what needs to be done. Peter Obi said he went to court with the constitution that we are all condemning or people are condemning, and the constitution was interpreted for him, and he won the case. You don't condemn a book totally like that. That is what I'm trying to say. If we need to amend it, there are things that needs to be amended. The 1999 constitution was adopted from 1979 constitution, and it has a military language. I've never denied that fact. But it is not responsible for our problem. If it's responsible for our problem, can somebody just point to me what section of the Constitution can you give me the subsection of the Constitution that says that is responsible for the insecurity, for the unemployment, for the students being at home? Quote it for me word for word, and I'm going to open it right here and let me know exactly where it is. Then we can address it. So, yes, maybe people were not consulted, but it was adopted from the 1979 Constitution. So we need to just be frank on this thing and just not beat about the bush. We have more important problem than the Constitution itself. So let's get the right person in as a leader. When the person gets in as a leader, then we will now bring this matter before him and say, listen, this constitution, we need to resolve this constitution. Can you help us to resolve this constitution so that the things in it can be well addressed? Thank you. I yield the floor to you.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
Leptis, can I talk, please?
Mr. Alex, hold on, please. The issue of today is not really about the constitution. I don't want us to start beating around strongly fought back and forth about the constitution, because definitely, we all know that the constitution, according to Mr. Andrew, was created out of the 1978 and 79 constitution. And we also know, just like he have rightly said, that it has a lot of military languages. But in totality, it's not like everything about the constitution is bad. And what we are saying now today is, a lot of people have been calling for restructuring. A lot of people have been saying, let's make amendment to this constitution. They had a committee severally during Jonathan's time, and a lot of confab has come up, and the suggestion have been swept under the carpet. Is it the fault of the constitution now? We all know that something is wrong somewhere. I think leadership is really the problem. The constitution, yes, some part not favorable, but some part very well. A lot of people have been going to court and they have been using the same constitution to get justice. Yes, they'll be getting justice from the constitution, meaning there are parts that are really good and there are parts that are really bad. But I tell you what, Mr. Alex, I just don't want us to flog on it. The same court that will give justice to Mr. A, the same problem sometimes might be looking for technicality, not the constitution this time. The constitution is saying give him justice. But the same people, cabal, we form cabal, we give justice the other way around. And they'll be waiting for you in the Supreme Court. They'll tell you, we're waiting for you. They already know what they are doing. Is this the constitution that is not right? Or leadership and its people that refuse to actually know the constitution and say, no, this is wrong. And most of our lawyers too, that seems to be part of the cabal. because they are hungry. They also go behind to take bribe and do the wrong thing. So I don't want to practically base everything on the Constitution. The Constitution is not the one bringing Boko Haram. The Constitution is not the one telling us to give Boko Haram amnesty and put them into the military. The Constitution did not tell us to take an ex-Boko Haram to give him an officer position in the custom, yes, that he could not even salute. We all saw it. We all saw it. The Constitution did not say the people that are not responsible, that have repented, that we must put them in our military, our security condition. I have a call, please. Let's see who this person is. Yes, Mr. Kola. Yes, Mr. Kola, please, your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, sir. What's your name, sir? Good evening. Oh, Monday. Okay, Monday from Italy, yes. Okay. Yes.
Hello, is anybody talking?
Yes, somebody's on call.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. That's Olga Monday, Mr. Morodio from Italy, calling us from Italy and trying to also support us by saying that we should forget about most argument about the Constitution, that the Constitution is not totally very bad. Yes, I also agree with him that the Constitution is not totally bad. I will now yield the floor to Alice. So, Alice, please talk to us. Mr. Alice. Okay, it's like Mr. Alice is not here with us no more. He's left. Okay, I want to welcome Mr. Chooks. Mr. Chooks, welcome for joining us. And before I give you the floor to you, I want to, I think Alice is back. But before Alice continue, I want to quickly also welcome Amaichi Umana. Thank you very much, Amaichi Umana, and Stephen Ajefu. Thank you for joining us through the comment section. We have another caller, please. Alice, I know it's your turn, but please allow us to quickly take this call. Yes, Mr. Caller, please tell us where you're calling from, your name, and where you're calling us from. Good evening, bro. Thank you. Bless you, then. Thank you very much. Thank you. I agree to you, sir.
Nigeria will be happy again. Nigeria will be a great country again. God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Before Alex, before you continue, I want to quickly say a big thank you to Alexander Gome for his support. Thank you, bro, for always supporting us. You're always there for us, supporting us. We say a very big thank you. So you can support same way, you that is listening to us, you that is even here with us. You can also hit the super chat sticker and follow the instruction. That's a way of encouraging us. Thank you very much, Alexander Gumbe. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Alice, please go ahead. Talk to us.
Yes. Well, let's continue to hit the, sensitize the populace about the need for them to get their PVCs and promote Peter Obi, who, arguably is the best candidate among these three people. And we hope for a better country come next year. But for me, I want to say how I feel about the Nigerian Constitution. I know the topic is not about that. I just want to set the record straight. According to my own understanding, nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody knows it all. Which sounds as if the 1979 Constitution was also done accordingly, that people were consulted before it was drafted. I may not condemn the Constitution totally. What was the reason for the national confab of 2014 of Jonathan Goodluck? Was it 2013 or so, where billions of naira were wasted? Because all the suggestions are still in the presidential seat there. It swept under the carpet. A constitution must encompass. It must have the parameters of a negotiation. Representative must be sent from across the divide of the nation. The Nigerian Constitution gives more powers to one side of the country. It gives more powers to these wicked leaders. Look at their salaries. Look at their entitlements. Look at their powers. The Constitution for me is condemnable. It's evil, as far as I'm concerned. 90% of the Constitution need to be wiped out. We are a people. We are not objects. A Constitution that allows leaders to just dip their hand into the national purse or the state treasury and do whatever they want and get away with it. A Constitution that do not check the posts or the afterlife of public office holders. You see them buying houses, buying private jets after they've left office. You call it a constitution? For me, a constitution must have the element of consultation. When Danish constitution was drafted, it took them about 4 years, and the whole Denmark was consulted. People sent their rep from villages to the national government. It took them years to agree on that constitution. Our constitutions has always been like that. Military. Even the pre-colonial constitutions is always drafted without considering the citizenry. We have a lot of languages. We have a lot of culture, a lot of tribes. And we have just one constitution that is lopsided in nature, that empowers like 1% of the population who are the leaders and impoverish 99%. For me, I condemn the Nigerian constitution at least 90%. You cannot come and tell me just to amend a couple of things. Like, seriously, you call out a couple of things? Go and read the powers of the governor, the powers of a senator. Go and read the pensions. Go and read about all the monies they get till they die. That's not a couple of things. That's a lot of things. And so many other, evil things drafted by these military generals. All the British, refs also, quickly, supported to draft it, just for a quick democratic process. So the Nigerian Constitution today is one of the biggest problems we have. And I'm sure Peter Obi will look into all those things. In a sane system, the constitution should be abrogated. It should be destroyed, and the national confab or the Jonathan Goodluck national confab should be visited, because suggestions were made, postulations were made. Why was that confab held? If the constitution, as you said, is just a couple of things to be amended. Come on now, let's face the facts. You can't come more than 100 things, a couple of things to be amended. No. So, you know, as much as I respect your own positions, I'm not countering you. I'm only stating my own view. It's a debate. So, and I believe Mr. Obi is hearing us, and he knows that the Nigerian constitution is 40 to 90%. When he was a governor, he suspended many parts of that constitution. He thwarted a lot of things there just to save money and bring about development for his state. So the Nigerian constitution was drafted by evil men, and he's still evil thing. Now look at where the so-called constitution that needs just a couple of things to be amended has led us to. Where are we? Darkness. Where are we? There are no checks and balances. Where are we? Where has it led us to? In as much as another person will get victory with it, another person will not get victory. That does not justify it at all. It's not a couple of things. Let's call a spade and not a shovel. I won't stand on somebody who just come and tell me Nigeria constitution is not. It's very bad. It's condemnable. It's an evil constitution. It's the beginning of our problems just now. Apart from this wicked cabal, they are also backed by this constitution. Thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Leftist. I apologize to the panelists. If you allow me to say one or two things so that I can leave, please. Is that okay, please? I'm apologizing. But if it's not okay, I'm going to hang up.
And Mr. Leftist, I will have to say something and leave too when it's done.
Mr. Let them say time, but I don't know if Mr. Andrew can wait for Mr. Let them say before you can.
Yeah, I'll wait. No problem.
Okay, please. Thank you very much. Let them say, please talk to us.
And thank you all. Constitution or no constitution. Well, what you people that are debating constitution have not yet understand that Nigeria haven't yet been a country. Nigeria is just only a quantity. Until Nigeria have been a country, that is where it will have constitution. Now, a set of people oppressing others, that is not a constitution. That is a quantity. So we are just under quantity of a people. Now, let's be sincere. If Nigeria has a constitution, they will not be recruiting 80 policemen in Kano, recruiting 10 in Edo, recruiting 5 in Delta, recruiting 15 in Imo State, recruiting 7 in Oyo. No, it will not happen. When they are recruiting 50 in Kano, in Imo State is going to be 50. In Edo is going to be 50. In Oyo is going to be 50. That make a constitution. That make it an equal.
Let them say. Yes, I want to quickly. Sorry that I will have to follow you. You are hearing me. I just want to follow you briefly. The fact that they took 80 in Kano, sir, and they now took 10 in Edo, 10 in other places. But do you know that the Constitution also tells us that whatever we are doing must make it represent federal characters, must be observed?
Yes.
If they refuse to follow the Constitution and the law says they must, is it not our fault for allowing them and keep it quiet, sir? Because I know what we are saying here. Federal character is there in the Constitution,
yes,
but it's not respected. Even in various call it even in our universities, they still use this oppressive paddy and criminal cabal system to do things in Nigeria, undermining the written down Constitution. Do we say the Constitution is not there? It's a very big question.
Yes,
I want to quickly draw our mind to this federal character now. Listen, before now, some of the people that have been employed in various legislative positions would be that Every other party is represented. Take it from Edo, take it from this part, take it from that part, take it from the. But do we do that now? Again, it doesn't mean that the Constitution did not ask us to do that. Again, let me quickly go to admission into universities. Sir. The university, JAMB, is the only body that have the right to do admission into all Nigeria tertiary education. Now, there is a set goal that if you must be admitted into a Nigerian universities, you must score above in the general exam 200 and above. Now, is it that constitution or that written law that is put does not work in the north, where even if you get 80, they can take you and consider you? And the same people that are giving 80 were all reading the same books, the same one country. And the same one person that got me that got 200 and you that got 80 and to get into university, you want to work with me and you are given the opportunity to head me. When we know that you are not so clever and brilliant, you didn't even pass it. What do we expect to get as a result in leadership? The Constitution is really not the problem. It is written there, but we seem to close our eyes. Nigerians seem to be the most gullible people, including me. When I say Nigerian, please don't feel insulted because I'm a Nigerian. I am feeling the pains. I know what I am talking about. We seem to keep quiet. Can this happen in other Western world where you increase a tax with just a cent? The whole people will cry out and start looking at their account. I think more of this constitution, I'm not saying the constitution is good. Please, let's get me right. I've said it before. I'm not saying the constitution is good, but I am saying that the constitution is really not the problem because it's a written book. The people is the problem. Okay, the police are not supposed to take bribe. Are they not taking bribe? Bail is free. Is it not written there? Are they not? Is bail free? It's written there. Is the book not there? Is it the book that will now work itself? You can continue. I just chip in so that you just continue from there, sir. Very sorry. Thank you.
So this is where we are saying that the Constitution, when you go to that federal character, then they will tell you in another verse, chapter so and so /1b decree number so and so have still pervert away that some said will be higher than some. So that shows that it's not balanced. When the Constitution is balanced, it is for all. That is where they said no one above the law. But the same Constitution still exempts some out of the law. And those who are the Constitution are exempted out of the law. Are they not the same Nigeria? So these are what we are saying. It said nobody is above the law. Automatically, even the president, the prime minister, nobody is above the law. Because whenever they do something, take away their position. Look, if they are Nigeria, if they are Nigeria, the Constitution has to work with them instantly. For the sake, the law has to work with them instantly. For the same Constitution will not tell you that no, let him have a grace. As a Nigeria, don't supposed to have any grace, since the Constitution says the laws so have to. Since the law says he has to work for all Nigerians as equal. But if we tell you let this one have a grace, so automatically that is the problem we have that enable people to say the Constitution. Well, we are not really discussing on Constitution. We are discussing on Peter Obi. So what I advise Labour people to do, please, anybody, instead of writing Obi, they should be putting Labour as bigger part of the sticker. Then they can put Peter Obi is a picture, not as the way they are doing it now. Let Labour Party be big and let the symbol LP, that black, that symbol of LP, they should be black For people to make saying something, they will say LP. They don't even call Labour Party. They are not going to call the Papa and Mama Pikin party. No, what they are going to say LP, PDP. So we need, with the obedience, need to let people know that LP is the name of the party. Whether Papa, Mama Pikin, but LP. So we should, any sticker they do now, any t-shirt they do, they have to make LP a bold of that, and the Papa, Mama Pikin also bigger than the way they are putting Peter will be big, and go and put Mama Pikin in a little way that people will not even recognize. So please, that is what I will urge all obedience people to be doing, and to be printing in whatever they are printing, and whatever they are, the message they are giving to people, and put the line of in it that this is how they have to vote. So this is what I'm begging, because Peter Obi has run to God. We thank God that Peter Obi has run to God. Let everybody run to God. So those who go to mosque, they run to God. I will use myself, give example. When we were in the boat coming to this country, there was serious confusion. So people were crying because they had spent more than the days they expected. I told everyone, cry to your God. However you can cry to your God. But we know that the Lord will take us to a safety direction. Really, which he did. So everyone had to cry to God. A Muslim guy told me, Pastor, pray for us again that the Lord really answer us and direct us and put us safe. So Peter Obi cry to God is the right way for person to do. If you want to lead people, you must cry to God so that God will direct you and put the visions, open your eyes to know the right thing to do at the right.
I don't know if it is my network, but you are breaking now.
Thank
Can
you.
everybody hear me? You are breaking.
God bless you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Let me quickly go back to Mr. Andrew, since he said he wants to.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Mr. P is still talking, I think so.
No, it's
okay. First and foremost, let me say this. Alex, you said something that is we kind of agree upon, and I'm glad you said that. You said you hope by God's grace, when Peter Obi comes, is going to address this issue. And I think I've said it over time. Not until we have a right leader there who will attend to this matter, who will back till the kingdom come, nothing is going to change. You also highlighted some fact, and that fact is 10% of the constitution. You see, the 90% of the constitution is not bad, only 10%. But you see that 10% that you highlighted, which is the enumeration or how these governors and the senators get paid and their salary. Even though it is 10%, it is very, very, very strong.
No. I said 90% is bad.
I am disagreeing with you. I am disagreeing with you that 90% is bad. I am telling you that 90% of the constitution is good, 10% is bad. But you see, that 10%, unfortunately, outweighs the 90%, which is the enumeration, the money. For example, when Saraki was a governor, was a Senate president, he was still receiving pension as a former governor of Kwara State. That is totally wrong. Now, there's also certain aspect of the constitution, because I took my time to read it, and I've spoken, I've made videos, I've spoken on it on my channel on the constitution, and I strongly believe in it because that is what is used to govern a nation. And you find out that Lefty highlighted some important thing as well too. There is no giving or taking of bribe highlighted in the constitution, but people still give bribe and take bribe. Duties of the citizens are highlighted in the constitution. You see, that 10%. When I came across that 10%, I said, no, this can never happen. If this thing remains in the constitution, it will continue to promote. In fact, I term it as corruption enshrined inside the constitution. That 10% is very powerful. I have never disregarded that. I have never said no. But the person, the individual, the leaders that will be able to listen and effect this change is what we don't have. Look at the confab, this thing you refer to. Why would somebody push that under the carpet if it is not important? It is very important. So they push it in the carpet. And I keep preaching, and I'll keep preaching. until we push for a good leader to get into that place. Unless you will agree with me that we will just back and back and back and back and back and nothing will happen. I yield the floor back. Thank you.
Yeah, you are right. I also agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on that side that we really need somebody with the political will, somebody with the moral will,
Alex,
somebody that is patriotic enough
Alex, Alex, you can hear
to push the
me
buttons.
which you are listening from. It's really giving us all back. It's echoing back roughly.
Ah, really?
So,
Maybe it's my
yes.
signal.
Well,
Okay.
we are getting all back from your voice.
Okay. Can you hear me well now? I mean, I changed my location.
Yes, we can hear you very well now.
Okay. Like I said, I agree with you. I argue to learn. We don't argue to win. You know, yeah. And also, I'm not backing. I'm just talking. As you said, we'll back from nothing, whatever, when we don't have a good leader. Yes, this is why I'm sincerely giving my vote to Mr. Peter Obi, and I will do my bit. I will do my bit. I will print T-shirt. I will do whatever I can do. I'm doing mine already. I'm talking to people around my own area, you know, motivating them, giving them reasons. A lot of them have been seeing reasons. They've all been, you know, turning up. I've taken people to do their PVC for the very first time in their lives. I don't mean to sound my trumpet, but I'm doing my bit. God sees us all. And I believe the powers that control everything, watching everybody, these powers that is moving this movement without so-called structure, without paying anybody, nationwide, even outside this country, will make us have this victory, a victory for the unborn generation by bringing in Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you.
Can I contribute?
Thank you very much. Who is that? I think you just came. Is that
No, that is Let's Go.
Okay, let's go. It's your turn. I just wanted to call you.
I'll be here. You know, nobody calls me.
No, I wanted to call in. I'm using turn by turn at the same time when Mr. Andrew and Alex were having things to correct. That's why I did not call you immediately after let them say. So, but right now it is your turn, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. You see, this is the kind of country we want to have. You see how Alex and CM just make this argument about the constitution, and later we agreeing on the constitution. There's some part of it that is good. There's some part that is wrong. That is what P2B was actually referring to. That if you want to work with him, he employed you, and every day you come to council meeting, you don't have any issue, you don't have any problem, nothing but that, he's gonna sack you. But when we come together, this person raise an issue, this person debate on it, collectively we try to find a solution to that problem. That becomes a government that includes the people. Because when we come together, we argue about a part of the constitution. If it's not really giving us what we want, we will try to amend it. So now, CM and the LX, they now brought this constitution of a thing. CM is telling him that 90% is not good. LX was saying that 90% is not good, and CM is saying no, there's still part of that constitution that is good. And
It's
now
not
Nigerians
CM,
are
it's
listening.
Mr. Andrew, sir.
Okay, sorry. Andrew, right? So now Nigerians are listening to their fellow countrymen, and this is how government is supposed to work. And I truly believe on these two arguments right now, because we will get it right. Like in this constitution now, I don't see the reason why in a state that the governor do not have the power to change commissioner of police. Anytime they want to do that, they have to run to ASROC. It is not supposed to be like that, because the power our government, our president have, no president in this world has such powers. So, and the 2014 confab, I don't know what happened to it, because all Nigerians took part in that confab, and nothing has happened up to today. That is where many of us are saying that the constitution is fraud, because they don't want to include us, because they know the truth. Believe me, if our constitution
everybody followed it, Nigeria will not be the way it is today. And as the CM said that we have in our power now the choice to make. We have to put in the right people in the government. And that right people will start 2023. Because if we put the right people, all this cabal godfatherism will be gone. It will be gone totally in Nigeria, and things will start moving very well. This constitution we are talking about, we will start to amend it. Like the place I am right now, the state will not have a problem, and the governor will run to the federal. The governor will have to deal with it with the local first. After the local, they move to the city. After city, they move to the state. Before the federal will come in, it is totally out of control. So this is the way the country is supposed to be running. So I will say it again. We have the choice. Let us take a positive choice. If it's gonna cost us anything, let it cost everybody something. So that when we are talking, when we are deliberating, you will stand and hold your nerve that I did my best. Even if it did not work, we know that we are doing our look at the people that are here today. They have so many things to do, but they left all these things to come and sanitize our people. So that's a great argument, and I love it. And I believe that Nigeria will start getting it right in 2023. Let us remove religion. Let us remove tribal. Let us remove who we are. Let us remove all these things and vote for competence. Look at the message. Whenever this Labour Party make a statement, the Nigerians see life. Nigerians breathe. Nigerians cry. Nigerians beg. That's what I'm talking about. And whenever you see other party presidential aspirants make a statement, they feel pompous, they feel that they have all it takes, they feel that they own us, they feel that we cannot do anything. And this is not what we want. We want to change this narrative in our country, and we will start getting it right. As you said, as I said it before, all you require is get one person, and that person will get another person, and we will vote the right candidate. And when the right candidate come in, all this our concern about the constitution, we will start to work towards them one item by item, and we will get it right as time goes. Thank you.
Get one person, the person will get one person, that one person will get another one person, and so on until they come and get me where I'm sitting. I thank you very much, Mr. Let Go. Each time you talk, you always end it up with get one person with chain of persons for Mr. Peter Obi. That is very good. I want to quickly appreciate Ochuku Ovie. This is from the comment section. Your how do I say it? Your contribution is well carried out. You can see your contributions on the screen, and we really appreciate you for this contribution and intention of yours. We pray God give you the power to actually do what you have just said. Thank you very much for Peter Obi. And again, I want to quickly say I saw Engineer Ken before, but unfortunately we lose him. So unfortunately that we never had him to speak with us. But before then, I want to call on Mr. Chooks, after which I'll call on Collins. So Mr. Chooks, thank you for being with us, and thank you for your patience. So you can have the floor now. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, the panelists and the viewers. Thank you for inviting me to talk on this very moment. Well, the main point, like we said, is, like you said the last time, is get one person and one person get another. That is my preaching to everybody. I've told everybody that knows me, if you don't have your PVC, don't talk to me. If you don't have your PVC, don't call me your friend or your brother, because we need to, get ourselves out of this mess. The way Nigeria is today, it's so unfortunate because we with the individuals, it's like I mean the masses, it's like we don't even know what to do again. You know, we talk about the constitution. We cannot know better than all the lawyers, all the sons that says this constitution is absolute shambles. You know, for anybody to come here to argue that the constitution is okay, it is not okay. If the people don't write the constitution, it is not okay. There's nothing. In fact, it's fake. I don't have apology to say that it's fake, because if you say we the people and I have nothing to contribute that, it automatically make that constitution illegitimate. Forget the fact that Nigeria is a dumping ground. I'm sorry to use that language, but you know, they see Nigeria as dumping ground. That is why they have the effrontery to come and say, take this and name it the people. For anybody, I don't know. Even a lawyer cannot come here to argue that something that lies, that there's anything that is good out of it. It's a lie. It's a lie. We have a say that once you lie one, you will continue to lie 2, 3, 4. That is what is in that constitution. Like he said, I've forgotten his name. He said 90% is good, but that 10% that is bad destroys everything. The same constitution is the thing. You see, when we talk about the people's power, the constitution don't give nobody the power there. Because if we write the constitution, then it gives us the power to question these people. They wrote that constitution as a monarchical constitution. It's like a monarch.
Sir, I can meet you up there.
Yeah.
The constitution gives the people the power. Power belongs to the people. Is there. That is why the constitution give you the power to ask you, because I am not talking here because I just want to talk. I am talking because I have gone through the constitution. I have used it very well, and it actually worked for me. That not to say that the constitution is perfect. The constitution also gives you the power to ask any public office, whether it's president, governor, anybody, either through a written note or orally is admitted. It's there in the constitution. Either, if in case you don't know how to write, you must not know how to write. You can just go to the office and ask, I want to know how much people are spending monthly as subvention. I want to know how many brooms you have bought this month. Tell me how much. Please, the constitution gives you the right. It's there. And that's what most of us are using. You see, a few weeks ago, like maybe a month ago, a dishonorable attacked a Nigeria Watch team that went to ask same question on Igweben local government area of Esa land, because the constitution gave him the right to do that. And the dishonorable beat him to stupor, kidnapped him, and taken to a Nigeria police that never arrested that dishonorable and alleging. And they discovered that the honorable lied. But what is happening to the honorable today? We wrote petition. The constitutional finish yet to act on it. The honorable has run away in the mind of, I'm in a burial in Lagos. I lost. Till now, they are hiding. The constitution, we know it is bad, sir. We know. But I want to assure every one of us listening, go and read the constitution from A to Z. The constitution encourages so many of them. I know, I'm not disputing that. But that it is totally wrong, I will not accept it. Because I have used it, I have it too. As I'm talking with you now, I have it too. Even while I was living in Nigeria, I took my constitution with me. All the acts, I took them with me. If they were not working, me for don't die. Me speaking with you would have been dead. The constitution works. It's not a total shamble. Though though there are a lot of errors that give room for some of these government officials to be doing what they are doing. But if you really follow the Constitution, you discover that even in the Constitution, it is written, no, but they will not listen to it. Just look like somebody came on national television to be telling how in 90, was it the last election that Buhari did not win, had a few people in. Did DSS go after such person? After giving such information, was he invited? Was he taken to court to prove? Are you saying the Constitution did not say such person should be arrested? It is there. Sir, what we need, I can write something today. The thing will not work itself. It is me, the people that work it. The people have not woken up to work it. It is the problem, major problem we have. The people does not know that self. They do not know that. Even when you try to correct them, sir, so we tell you, that's what we see them, because they're deprogrammed, because they are not knowledgeable, they are afraid. They don't believe such thing work. They say bribe is, bail is free. Or go Nigeria, go order to say you want to take somebody off bail for free. The police himself will frustrate you to the end. But is bail not free? Is it not written there? But when you stand and want to really pursue it, you see them begging at the end of the day. I am a living witness, sir. When they discover that you did not bend or honor the threat, and now you are willing to go to court, you have evidence, you see them begging you, they want to make you their friend. They will be begging you. If the Constitution does not work, why are they begging you? Why are they begging you? Sir, it works, sir. We know that some percentage is very, very bad, but it's not about the Constitution now, sir. It's about our people. That's why we say, just like Mr. Allen said something, Mr. Allen said, why did they not implement they use billions of naira to constitute commission, confab, and there was a conclusion and an advice to be implemented. Why was it not implemented? Why was it swept under the cupboard? So many committees, after bringing us so much money to hold committees, to set up a committees, this same committee we advise after investigation. Why are they not following the advice? Is it the Constitution, the paper that will work itself? It is the problem of the cabal. They feel they are above the law, and really, right now, they make themselves above the law because they plant all the people that listen to them, that take command for them, that does not care about what is written. It is written, it is there, but they don't care, and nothing will happen. We are in charge. We saw some governor will tell you, I'm waiting for you in court. They've done what they want to do. You go to court, they have prepared themselves. Does it mean the court does not work? There are people in court, they paid money, corruption. So if we don't have a leadership that will actually lead us well and make sure corruption is cut out, we will continue to be like, even if they bring the best constitution that we wrote ourselves and we don't follow it up, we keep quiet, they will continue to rob us and give us shit, our own shit, because we keep quiet, we accept it. I think we are the problem, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the the light you thrown on this. You see why we talk about the Constitution. That it doesn't work for us. The same Constitution you and I are discussing today is the Constitution that gives them that absolute power. That absolute power they're using today against you and I, is given to them by this same Constitution. I give you one example. I went home 2017, right? And I went there. I went to Ojo local government in First Stack to do my national ID card. Okay, So immediately it gets to my turn. The young lad there hold the piece of paper, say it only remains one, right? That is either I bring money for them to go and print more of this, or nothing happens. And I said, can I see the paper? He gave me the paper. I seized it. I said, if you don't serve me, nobody will be served here. You know, many people wanted to beat me for standing up. Okay. And I said to them, I'm nobody, but if anybody touches me here, I will make sure that this local government provide that person. That is the only thing I'm gonna do. So at a point, they went and called the supervisor or the manager, which the manager came, says I should come with her. I said, no, I'm not coming with you until she assured me that, you know, she is gonna do whatever to sort me out. Then I went with her. Guess what? The whole thing was sorted. I get what you're saying, but we cannot take out the fact that this same constitution gave them this power to do this. I was supposed to be a soldier today. I did my entrance exam complete 3 times because I was born and brought up in the barracks. But guess what? Because my state of origin, the numbers they gave to us, is full. So at a point, the last one I wrote, they couldn't, you know, the result was so good that they asked me to change alter one of my name just for me to get in. And I said no. So this same constitution is the same thing that is treating me this way. And nobody can convince me that it is not this constitution that kept me that place. Because that constitution gives you quota system. That constitution says if you are born in Kanu, you are not a citizen of Kanu. No. That alone can destroy that country. This alone destroys that country. I was born and brought up in Kano.
Sir, that is not true. The Constitution gives you the right. That's what you have citizenship by birth. It's in the Nigerian Constitution.
If you are what about state of origin?
God, let me just bring you more light there.
Yeah, that's why I remind you the state of origin.
Yes, citizens by birth, where you were born, you will have citizen by birth. Where you are born there, you are automatically part of them. But where we have issues that we need, that's where you came in now. That you are looking for a job, they're asking you, what state are you from? It is an issue at a time. We will tell you, I'm a Nigerian. If I'm qualified for the job, please give it to me. Where I'm from does not matter. But I want to also draw us to the attention that...
No, brother, sorry, if I may come in here, yeah? I just want you to clarify me that state of origin. Because like I said to you, I was born and brought up in Kano, right? I schooled there. I paid different school fees than those that are indigent. They don't pay, but I pay. Because they consider me not an indigent. Because in your form, you fill out where you were born and your state of origin.
That's what I'm telling you, sir. Sir, by birth, the Constitution, our Constitution by birth makes you a citizen of that place. By birth.
No.
Naturally. No. That state of origin, sir.
Once you put that state of origin, yeah, once you've put that state of origin, like I said to you, this is something that happens to me direct.
I understand,
it did not happen to another person. I said I was born and brought up in Kano, and I was paying school fee while my mate who is Kano indigent. They call it indigent.
But sir, that is
indigent, never pay school fee.
Sir, that is where I said I'm not disagreeing with you. That is where I say you are correct. I said you just said something that I want to comment on with that state of origin. They are not supposed to use that state of origin to disqualify you. That is discrimination.
That is technicalities.
Yes, because
technicalities, and the Constitution provides room for that technicalities. That's what we're talking about. You make it clear. Listen, there's no need. I heard the other person said that if you put one section here that, oh, there's a federal character. You go to another place where it says, the larger the people, the more you give to them. This is exactly what is happening with this state of origin and place of birth. So we are not fools. We can interpret. This is why we say in this constitution is like I said to you, this happened to me. 2 incidents at a time happened to me. So I'm not listen. I am not saying it as a third person say. This is something that happens direct to me. So if I cannot, I wasn't happy. Even
Yes.
though I was a child then, I wasn't happy that I was paying and my mates are not being sent home because they don't have money to pay for school fee. That alone, what do you know what it does to my own confidence about the country?
Yes.
So when we talk about constitution, in fact, the constitution is the head of every problem in Nigeria. I'm not saying I'm a professional to say that, but with what happened to me, if I'm gonna lose hope in Nigeria, I would have lost hope, especially when I have opportunity to be where I am today. Nobody is chasing me, but because of that Nigerianness in me, that's why I'm still here discussing about this constitution, which have tortured me.
Okay, but today's topic, sir, is not really about constitution. We're a little bit digressed, and the constitution is really now taking much time because somebody is supposed to speak. Mr. Collins is still waiting, so I don't know if you can round up for Mr. Collins to quickly say something. But I am sorry for that, because actually you are correct in that aspect. Most times we say it is not necessary for you to begin to ask people what states they are from. As far as the person is from Nigeria, he has the right to do and is qualified. He should be qualified. Are you qualified? Yes.
To do the job.
What state are from? I'm a Nigerian. So I just like I told you, I said you said something that I will agree with. That state is totally fraud. Because if I am better than your person, and you say because I'm from another state and I am better, more qualified, you won't give it to me. You want to give it to your person. You call it quota system. I think that's not necessary. So I don't know. That I feel my opinion. So Mr. Collins, please talk to us.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good morning and a happy new month to the panel.
Thank you very much.
I don't have much to say. It's not about, because when people keep talking about constitution in Nigeria, I think the little bit constitution in Nigeria can still work if people want it to work. It's just that people don't want it to work, because if you look very well, there is an interview Peter Obi gave. He said during his time as Anambra governor, as a governor, he didn't want the commissioner of police then. He have to write to the IG and requested for new one. So when he requested for new one, I think the permission was granted to him. So he have a new one. So it's just that sometimes in Nigeria, because of when the system is faulty, it's affect everything. So everything can work. But this constitution, the little constitution there can still work if people really want it to work. Sometimes everything when things happen in Nigeria, it can't keep blaming like it happens in Abuja. But I think every other state should, because I believe if he's not working in Abuja, he should work in Imo State. So why is he not working in Imo State? Because I believe he's there. You can do anything. You can implement any law that can be able to govern your people in a very good way. If Abuja don't want to give Nigeria a good government, then what stop you as a governor in Imo State to give your people a good governor? It's just that our leaders, we don't have a good leader. I think that is the most problem that Nigeria have, good leaders. We don't have good leaders because they're all there for their own selfish interest, not for people. I keep saying it. That is why we keep asking for God to grant our heart desire, because like every Nigeria, we want people to be. And looking at the way things is, there is no how Peter Obi will win this election without doing something. I know he's not going to do magic overnight, but he will set the example that the next person, at least from the next person, things will start being good. Because when he does maybe be able to like give Nigeria like 30%, the next person will say, okay, since Peter Obi give 30%, I can give 40%. Next person will say, okay, for 40%, I can give 50. From 50, before you see, Nigeria becomes a better place. Just because there is no one setting an example. And another thing, this election, like people keep talking about the whole election. I'm not scared about this election. This election, I'm not scared. I haven't for a day scared about it. I think Peter Obi is going to win the election. He's not going to, because there is no way Nigeria can win this election, because what happened in Osho have taught a lot of people lesson, and this electoral act, I think everything is working in his own direction, the way he wants it. Because that electoral act, if government knows that this is what is going to happen, I don't think they will implement that electoral act. If they know that this is the whole thing is going to be like this, I don't think they will implement it. And if you watch, the electoral act is starting affecting some people. Some senators can't even return from their own zone, so it's affecting a lot of people. So I think it's a welcome idea when it comes to Nigeria. This is a new thing. We begin to see new things. People like Lawa, most of them won't be returning back. So I think it's a good thing. And I saw a post today that this guy posted, Tunde not posted. You saw some student contributing money, putting a billboard. That shows you the level the whole thing have gone. So if some people can be able to put that billboard from their whole hard-earned money, that shows you the length they can go. Are you telling me that if that person vote election, he's not going to protect that vote? He's going to protect it. If person can spend that money putting that billboard, so are you telling me the simple job he's going to do is to protect that vote? He's going to protect it. So when I keep telling people, they keep talking about people. Are you sure that people are going to work in the electoral unit? People are going to work because it's not party thing. I keep telling people this election is not party thing. I think it's a different thing altogether that me and you haven't been able to witness before. We haven't even during Abiola election was not like this. Abiola campaign wasn't like this. At that time, Abiola was the one bringing money for himself, just that people were following him the whole thing. But now, people are bringing the money. The campaign haven't even started. P2B haven't even said this is where we are. But people already started the campaign. That shows you the level. And when people keep coming on air, maybe other media, they keep talking about it's just on social media, just on social media. That is how people keep deceiving themselves, because the whole thing is on street. People are hearing the word in the church, in the market, in the school, in the working place. People are hearing the message. And then another thing again, this is labor. So whatever concerns labor concerns everything. So this is a party owned by labor. And if you watch, most people that is going to vote this election, they are all civil servants. 65% of them are civil servants. They are all working. So they knows that this is their thing. So it's time for, I think this is something like labor have been clamoring for. They've been asking for something like this to happen. And it's happening. I think it's going to bring a very big change, because at the end of the day, 2023, I don't see anything. I don't see anybody winning this election. And if you watch now, one thing I keep telling people, they keep talking about the North. One thing I like those people in one part, whenever they agreed on something, they agreed on it. That is one thing I like. That if they say this is what they are going to do, they are going to do it. And if you look at the kind of people trooping in the North, their kind of campaign, the way they are doing that thing, you now find that they have taken it serious more than people from the South say. So if you watch the whole video, you see clip video, you see coming out from that area, that you now show how serious they are. Because when I live in North, I know how serious when it comes. If they say they are going to support you, they are going to support you. So if you P2B and the Dante can be able to get like almost like 30% or 40% from North, I think they have won the election with, because I know from the South they are going to rack up the whole place in South. So if they can get 30 or 40% in the North, I see the election bill. For me, I've never been maybe have a doubt when it comes to, because if I'm having a doubt, I shouldn't be supporting P2B. But looking at what is happening in Nigeria, looking at the condition, the situation, because this hunger now is not only in the east, it's not only in the north, it's not only in the west, it's happening around the whole Nigeria. And the way now one thing Buhari government have taught Nigeria that you can stand up and reclaim your country if you want. And that is what everybody now are waking up that, okay, this is what I can contribute in Nigeria moving forward. And this is what people are going to do by 2023. I need to contribute for Nigeria to move forward. And that is the way it's going to happen. So if anybody is having a doubt mind about this election, don't worry. Come 2023, P2B is going to win the election. He's going to win it by margin, because you can't win the election. Imagine INEC told you from last year till now, they'll be able to get about 15 million people vote as a registering new. If last election, Buhari only got 11 million or something that nature. He won the election. Imagine when 15 million people vote for P2B. That's automatically winning. So for me, I'm not scared about it. All I'm just encouraging every Nigeria, because the message is, because we are also doing our best. Do your best. When you pass information to one person will send the name. That is how you keep the message keep going. And thank God that the whole thing, people are beginning to get the message. It's no longer like a tribal thing or religion thing. It affects everybody, because if it affects Christians, it affects Muslims, it affects Yorubas, it affects the Hausa, it affects the Igbos, it affects the Jaws, it affects everybody. So it's not something that people are trying to hide from their cocoon. Everybody wants to come out and vote this election, because people can't even wait. If you throw the election today, P2B is going to win it. Throw it next year, is going to win it. So, and the politicians knows about it. So that is why you see them, they climb, they try to buy people, people, and I look at video, Zakoji, people like those. So now I don't need Zakoji to tell me what to do, because the poverty that is affecting Nigeria is not affecting him. So the people that is going to vote DC is not on celebrity. Celebrity is not going to vote DC. And even if you're a celebrity, you only have one vote. So you can't tell somebody to do whatever they want. And now Nigeria have opened up. They can go and see something. They can go on something. They can view something. So it's not like before, where it's 4 o'clock news. AIT and NTA will start, everybody will start rushing for NTA. I don't need NTA anymore. I can watch Niger Watch. I can watch other platforms. So that is how the message get to people. So people can go on Facebook. Even if you block on Facebook, then go on their WhatsApp, on their status. You see people sharing messages there. So there is a way this message can get to people. So when people talking about the social media, leave it. That is PDP voice. That is APC voice. But then deep inside them, deep them very well, they knows it that this thing is no longer a party, it is a movement. So for me, all we just have to pray that my own thing, that if there is no insecurity in Nigeria, if there is no insecurity, and thank God that the Senate have like given Buhari, I think giving Buhari that push will now contribute a lot to Buhari, will like try to put some things in order before the election. So for me, I'm not scared about it. All I'm just asking Nigeria, do your best and allow God to do the rest. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Collins. Thank you very much. Before I call on Tu Naija, he just joined us, but I think he would have be his turn. I want to quickly talk on this, answer this person. He said, Mr. Naija, how do you address that state of origin? Just like I said before, sir. The man that spoke about it, I told him, yes, I totally agree with him that that state of origin is a fraud. It does not bring out the best in services. If I am from Abuja and I have the best qualification, and somebody is from Edo, it does not have the best qualification, because the person is from Edo and they are using quota system. Get me right. And they are putting quota system. For me, I think it's a fraud. We are one Nigeria. It should be one Nigeria thing. It doesn't matter where you're from. The university is built in Nigeria. The section, wherever part of the country the university is built, is your country. We should be clamoring for qualification. We should be talking about how we qualify. So that will bring up competition, and it will continue to improve and bring out the best in everybody. By the time you start to bring it down for certain area and make it high for the certain area, it's not equitable. Inequality has come in. It's a fraud. On that, I'm just answering you. On that very particular area, I think it's a fraud. Where am I from? I'm in Nigeria. Am I entitled to it? Yes. The state I'm from is not a problem. Like the Western world, you get your data, everything about it is just to know where you're from a case. But what they look at is your qualification. Are you qualify? This your background data only shows that you are a Nigerian. This is where you are from. But are you qualified? If you are qualified, you are entitled to it. It's a simple thing. So I think I have answered you. The state of origin is totally a fraud. It should be knocked out of it. Where I'm from should be in my data. That is to show that, yes, my biodata, I was born in so place, my parents are from so place. It's just to form my story, my history. But that should not should not form the basis of my credibility or my qualification. My credibility should be in my present character. My qualification should be in what I can do. Presently, you set 100 questions, I answer 50, and the other, you said 50 is the mark. Give it to me, I'm qualified. Remove whether I'm from, am I qualified? Give it to me. So I think not until we start to do that, we will be having issues. That is the other part of the constitution that I feel should be changed. One Nigeria, one law, one incentives for everybody. Thank you very much. So on that note, I please I give it to Niger to quickly speak with us. To Niger, please.
Yeah, hi, and thanks for having me. Um, so are we saying that Peter Obi is saying crying to God to save us from insecurity?
And yes, Peter Obi went to church.
Okay.
Not just Peter Obi that went to church. Dunamis Church Abuja invited all the presidential aspirants to come for prayer to rescue Nigeria and to put Nigeria forward. So Peter Obi happens to honor such prayer, such invitations. Others were not there. And some other politicians, like wife of Okowa, the former Speaker of Representative Dogora, and so many others went there. And Peter Obi, when he was introduced and given the mic, this is what he said, that we have no other country, that God should deliver us from insecurity, that we have no other country to run to. Nigeria is the only country we have. It's what we've got. So people begin to make a lot of noise that why is he going from church to church? You know, that kind of
Yeah.
matter and all that. So that's just the point.
I guess I get it why he's going from church to church because he's a church man. But I did say that that it would be nice to have him start going, into mosques too, and because I think when people hear Peter Obi, they generally tend to like him compared to all the leaders they've seen before him. So I'm not so sure why he hasn't gone, into other religious spaces. And
I think so. He cannot force himself. When he's being invited, I think the man Peter Obi will always respond and respect the invite. That's what I think.
You can, yeah, if you are expecting to get invited, sometimes you can also request that, okay, can I come? I like to know your people, stuff like that, because after all, we're all Nigerians, it's not about religion, stuff
On
like
this
that.
note, correct. But do you know that campaign have not started? So if he begins to do that, that will be used against him that is campaigning.
Okay. Okay, so this one that he's doing now, there is not campaigning.
No, he was invited to a church program, not him alone. It
I
was
see.
general.
Okay.
It was general, but he went, and some other people that want to go also went. So it's not like he wants. It was just him. It was general invitation, which he responded to, and some other persons responded to.
Okay. Yeah, I get that, and as a matter of fact, that's something that maybe Nigerians should think about a bit because I don't understand why you are restricted from going to meet fellow Nigerians and discussing issues with them, and people call it campaigning because you are not allowed to talk to fellow Nigerians. You only have a few windows to actually do that. That seems, anti-democratic, really, when you think about it. You should be able to talk to Nigerians at any time of the year if you feel like it. You are Nigerian. You should be able to do that. About the security aspect, I really would want him to talk more about that because this thing where we just say let's throw our hand to God and to solve the problem for us, that is not the case. We know the solutions to these things, and I would really like him to be talking more about this thing because people will take it in now, what he's saying, because everything he said about economy, most of them are on point and people have absorbed most of it in. And if he talks more about security, that too will be very good. And he's setting a bar. I've said it before. In the end, we have to start setting a bar too. We have to be getting ready when the time comes. What we are going to be asking him, I saw when ASU, for once, did something. They said that they are demanding that legislators, their children should be in Nigeria to go to school. And those are all demands, the kind of demands people need to start making, because people will back them. People will be like, yeah, that I like that too. Yeah, we should be fighting for, all everybody's children to be going to school in Nigeria, so that they actually care about our institutions. The same thing can be said for security. The same thing can be said for electricity and hospital treatments. And NLC has a lot of power in Nigeria, and the government seems to try to avoid their strikes. They always want to try to avoid them because they tend to have a larger following. And this thing that they do, where they just lend their support to any political party or any candidate without anything, like there is nothing the person has said is going to do for your constituency, the people you claim to be representing. I don't get that. Because the way it is done here in the UK is that if you want to endorse a candidate, the candidate will say things that they want to do for the country that you people have always been asking for. Then you can lend their support to them. I was watching a program yesterday where this lady was talking about how she went out with this guy. She just assumed that the guy wanted to marry her, only to find out that the guy didn't want to marry her. Then now her attitude is like, you have to listen carefully to what they are saying, and that she's not even in any relationship until the person put a ring on the finger. The reason why she's doing that, she's learning a lesson from the fact of she's had false hopes before. And in the case of Nigeria, we've had a lot of false starts. Buhari was similar to this. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of people supported Buhari at one point. We thought he was going to be the savior. He's a military general. He had everything. But look at what he did. So we have to always set a higher standard. If you don't set a higher standard, just like every woman knows, they set a higher standard so that that man has to cross it. As much as we all love Peter Obi and everything he's saying is all good, we have to set our own standard. If you don't set your own standard, he might take you for granted. That is, every man knows that logic. They will take you for granted if you don't set your own standard. You just give it to them like, oh, we have been starving for hope for so long that we just go for you. What does that make of us? It makes of us look like we are desperate. And truly we are desperate, but we should be desperate for results, not blind desperation. So that is where I will put it from the point of view of this Peter Obi. About this state thing where you have to say where you are from in Nigeria, and it actually affects the way jobs are allocated. I think I agree with the point everyone has made, that it's a bad idea to have such a system in place, even if I do understand and sympathize a bit with it, because they fear that the South will take all the positions if they don't do that, because most Southerners are more educated, they have higher qualifications and stuff like that, so they will generally occupy most of strategic offices if you just make it flat. So they're trying to equalize it a little bit, so that the Northerners will catch up. But often that stuff breeds resentment, as you can hear from the previous speaker. People don't like it when they feel like the things are not being done by merit. And
to Niger.
Yeah.
Good morning. In our time here, could I interject just for a minute on the last point you made before you drift too far away from it?
Okay.
You said that on the P2B issue, would you agree that you being in the UK, you have never, ever voted for a presidential candidate before? That you in the UK system, you have what they call primus inter pares, which means the prime minister is like first among equals. That prime minister is selected by his colleagues. You have never voted for a prime minister in your life, and you don't know anybody who's ever done that, right? Would you agree?
I have voted
for a prime minister.
Yeah, in the UK, yeah, I have voted in the premiership election. Yeah.
Yeah, you voted for a parliamentarian for your constituency, but it's then up to those constituents, the colleagues, to select the prime minister. So
I get what you mean, but before you vote for such an election, the leader of the party has already been selected, and when that party wins, that leader becomes the prime minister automatically. That's how it is done here.
No, I understand, but it's very good not to equivocate and drag it on. The point is a fact that since the UK existence, Britain, England, they don't select their leaders. In essence, there's no direct election where you pick somebody who's going to be the national leader. All right. So when you go to the poll to vote, you have no idea who's going to be the prime minister. You may guess that this party may win and select whatever, but you have no direct
Actually,
impact.
we do. Actually, we do.
Explain to me, please.
Yeah, because when the parties, just like primaries here, when the parties select their leader, we all know that leader, when the party gets the majority of MPs, they will appoint that leader the prime minister. That's how it works.
Okay,
so
hold on.
when
Hold on. So, number one, you don't know if that party is going to win for one. You may guess, just like we are right now. We may think the Labour Party may win, APC may win, PDP may win. But first of all, you don't know who's the party that's going to win when you're going to the polls. Okay.
True.
Two, you don't know who that party is going to select. In essence, they could select somebody from, I don't know, whatever constituent you have over there. So you, in effect, you have, just like we had an election and Adeleke won in Oshun, right? So that's how it is for everybody in the UK. You select somebody and vote for in your constituent. So it's not the same thing with what we have in Nigeria, which is democracy picking the president. It's more like the United States, where people can vote for one party for your governorship or your house member or your senator, but you could vote for somebody else for presidency. So it's not the same thing. I'm only directing that. I'm not challenging you per se. I'm saying that when you come up every time, instead of having a clean moral pick, you say nice things about P2B and you go, okay, P2B, but you know, he does this, he does that. You have to take the totality and then weigh between, because none of them is perfect, right? We agree that P2B is not perfect. It's not a saint. It's not inerrant. And so it's time to have moral clarity, given all his faults and his positives and his negatives. And then you look at Tinubu, then you have a moral clear choice as you educate on this platform. We're here to educate. So to equivocate and to smear it and just make it to where there's no clarity, that's to me, I think it's the wrong approach. And you're a very, very important person, because not only are you ubiquitous on platforms, you're very smart and you articulate very well. So can you, and when I give you back your platform right now, tell us, given all the equalities, their pluses and minuses, who should we be looking at to be the next president of Nigeria? Who? Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your comment, with all the compliments on top of it. You are trying to make my head get bigger, but I'm not going to fall for that temptation. The thing is, you see, the reason why I'm talking about Peter Obi, because clearly he's the favorite. I can't talk about the others are useless. So it's like the only game in town for me anyway. And and what I'm just doing is that my ultimate constituency is the people of Nigeria. And I have to always remember that, because in this thing, I really don't want to see Nigerians get disappointed in the next 4 years. Because Peter Obi is one man. We have to also understand that. The people have to get involved. He will do what he can, but if the House of Legislators and cause all kinds of problems, they did cause all kinds of problems for him even in Imo State, Anambra, where he was the lead governor there. They caused a lot of problems. They impeached him twice. If he goes there now and they go and cause all kinds of problems for him, then if the Nigerian people are not engaged and like this thing that he's doing is for them, and they are the one that's put him there and said, yeah, they could thwart him and he will find himself in a secular process whereby he's spending more time putting out fires. But if the people are by his side and they have a stake in what happens, not just saying, I let you disappear and go and be the father of the country instead of our employee. You have to treat your leaders like your employee. They have to do your job, the job that you want them to do, that they went there to go and do, and hold them directly accountable. Never forget that. Because democracy, they said, I think it has something to do with vigilance. You have to always be vigilant. Because if you are vigilant for just the next 6 months to 2 years, you might reap a reward that is worth decades in the making. Because for decades we haven't had power supply. For decades our infrastructure is all over the place. For decades we've been riddled with crime, this and insecurity. So all these things can be resolved if we just are vigilant for a given period of time. Because Peter Obi is one man. You know.
Okay, thank you. I agree with all that, all the premises that you have elucidated so far. But could you please tell us, given all that, because what you're saying applies to each and every one of them. So given there is nobody who's going to go up there if the Nigerian people are not with them and try to help them out and just have them be the only one doing the job, it's not going to work. But knowing P2B's antecedents, I think he still is superior to the other candidates as far as listening or having his heart in the right place or trying to galvanize the Nigerian people, be it the youth, trying to extend his reach to the various constituents, okay? And also his heart is in the right place. But the only thing I actually wanted you to do for me, if you can, if you've made that choice already, if the election is held this afternoon, who would you vote for and why? And why not the other ones?
That one is easy now. Come on, man. The other two are Agberos. You want me to start illustrating? I will vote for Peter Obi without flinching and also. But I will have a little bit of remorse that we didn't put our demands in place first. We didn't have him commit to specifics first. I will have that with you.
I agree with that. But the way I had it placed is it's kind of hierarchical. The first thing is to get the right candidate, get the right person elected, and then hold them accountable. I'll be with you on that. Trust me. And I'm very good at that. Holding somebody accountable. I have to tell you that why you don't have a clamor for a lot of Nigerians doing what you're just saying. Somebody like leftist who's a ardent what do you call that? When somebody is activist, it's an ardent, well-known activist, and so many others, people listening. The reason is that Obi doesn't come across as somebody that will have to do a lot of work as far as getting a commitment from him, but who is also very susceptible, unlike like a Buhari, like a military dictator or a strong man, okay, who is backed by the military. It's very hard to hold those kind of people accountable. But somebody like Jonathan or, civilian, a gentleman, like Obi, who's not backed by the usual, right? So it's easy to hold him up because once he loses the people, he's very easy to sideline. He has to have the support of the people. But so I'm very happy that you're going to vote for Obi. And when you premise your remarks, I think you should make that clear. And we don't have any disagreement whatsoever when it comes to holding somebody accountable. Thank you.
To Niger, I think I'm going to hold you there. And Pansat, I think I'm also going to hold you there. Thank you both for giving me the opportunity to rest and listen to you doing the whole job. And I enjoyed the conversation. It was well educative and well carried. Thank you very much. I am holding you both because somebody joined us, Yemi, and I just want us to hear Yemi talk. So, Yemi, please talk to us. Thank you very much. Yemi, good evening. Hello, Yemi. Yemi, can you hear me? Oh, no.
Probably connection issues.
Yeah.
I think Yemi Strongling is back again. Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yemi, we can hear you. Please talk to us. Where are you joining us from? It's like you're having a connection.
Yeah, it was good to join this platform because I'm trying to get in this fun. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, though your background is noisy. You join us from Switzerland?
No, I'm from New York.
Oh, New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. So I mean, you know, I've been trying to. I mean, I listen to his platform a couple times when I'm, you know, driving home from work, but I never get a chance to actually be on this thing. So it's like my first time, you know, being part of this, you know, team, and it's good to be there. You know, I think my biggest thing is that I feel like everybody on this platform, you know, I understand y'all, you know, for Peter Obi, which is good. You know, I respect everybody's decisions and as far as where they want to go with, is a good thing. But I feel like yo thing, he's gonna go up there and do some magic. It's not gonna be magic. He's still gonna do a lot of work, right? And you know, like I kind of feel bad when people come and say people get disrespected because some person went into the Muslim ticket. Like, I mean, I feel like at this point in Nigeria, like we shouldn't be worried about religion. You know, like it could be a Christian, it could be a Muslim. I don't care. You know, I just want a better, you know, better society for everybody. And you know, we up here, we could like go home and feel safe. You know, but it just a whole, it just kind of breaks my heart when I see people say, you know, they feel disrespected because somebody said they wanted a Muslim ticket. I mean, who cares about Muslim? Like, we just want a better society for everybody, right? It's like I was telling somebody like, if Peter Obi was a Muslim, does that mean you wouldn't vote for him? You know, like we gone past the era of, you know, religion at this point. I mean, I understand that, you know, we got three, you know, big tribes in Nigeria, which is the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, but I still kind of feel like we shouldn't be worried about, you know, religion at this point. Like, you know, I feel bad when people say, people go and campaign and say, well, I'm gonna give you water, I'm gonna give you electricity. Like, who said that in 2022? But again, it just kind of boils down to the fact that we got messed up individual in Nigeria, and they could feel like they will put everybody in poverty just to get them to do what they want. Like, I mean, I was telling my friend, I say, hey, listen, like, I mean, we want Peter Obi to, you know, go there and you know, do whatever. And I mean, I'm not against him, and I'm not for him either. I just want a better society for everybody. You know, like, I'm not saying he's not good. Don't get me wrong. I don't want nobody to attack me and tell me like, hey, you know, why are you trying to blaspheme against Peter Obi? That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to say that I'm just the type of dude who, you know, I just want a better society for everybody, right? So it just kind of boils down to the fact that, I mean, I want everybody to just, you know, be optimistic, like check criticism, like even if somebody comes to the platform and say, hey, you know, I'm not for Peter Obi. I mean, we don't have to attack him or tell him whatever. We could like, you know, tell him what you feel, you know, why they feel like Peter Obi is the best, you know. But then again, it boils down to the fact that, like, I feel like we out here is the only one who wants a better Nigeria. Like, folks back home in Nigeria, they still caught up with the APC drama. Like, they still, you call a man in Nigeria and tell them like, who you gonna vote for? They still gonna tell you they want APC or PDP. And it breaks my heart when, you know, people still live in that, you know, people still caught up in that web in this 2022. You know, so like, I mean, when people say the numbers don't add up, yeah, it doesn't add up. Again, you know, like, I feel like everybody, you know, who wants Peter Obi is pretty much people. My majority of us are like people who live, you know, outside Nigeria. You know, I feel like it's a lot of work we gotta do, you know, to get to that point where we feel comfortable. Like, this guy is gonna, you know, hit the mantle and he's gonna do good. Like, I feel like just by talking and all this whatever, it's not gonna make no difference. Like, I'm pretty sure like 1 out of 10 folks in Nigeria has somebody who lives in America. Like, you could tell them like stuff like, hey, you know, I mean, I know you need money, but I want you to get a PVC. Like, you know, like, it's not just about talking. Like, what I'm trying to say is that this is the same hype. Like, I remember a couple years ago, I had dudes in Nigeria who said, "Oh, we wanted Buhari," and I'm like, bro, like, why everybody saying Buhari? Though? Like, is it gonna go do magic? You know? And look, 7 years down the line, they know it was the wrong choice. But at the end of the day, this is the same way they all clamored, you know, for Buhari like a couple years ago. This is the same thing they did for Peter Obi. I mean, it's no guarantee that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna go there and do our wishes. I mean, I guess he's gonna do his best. He's gonna do what he gotta do. But I'm just trying to say that it's the same hype, you know. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect yo like for what you support. I mean, I respect everybody, you know, you for Peter Obi, which is good. I mean, I'm not against him, like I said, but it's just the hype. Like, people say it's social media hype, and it looks like it is.
Okay.
You know, because
You hear me?
yeah,
Who do you prefer among all the aspirants? We
see,
have
this is the thing.
Tinubu, we have
Okay,
Atiku, we
right.
have Kwankwaso, we have Sowore. So among all the aspirants, I know you don't live in Nigeria, and
Right.
I know you'll be following. At least you have idea of who those people are.
Okay. Cool.
In your own opinion, who do you think is better, is the best to lead Nigeria the way it is right now?
You know what I think could shake the Nigerian structure? Who could make better things? Who could make things work in Nigeria right now? Is Sowore. And again, I'm not trying to say I'm going to vote for him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to tell you that he a man who's going to stand by his words. Peter Obi was a military man. He a politician. If you try to do something different, you got to look outside the circle. You can't be doing one thing simply and expect to have different results. Right? I'm not saying Peter Obi is not good, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that for me, I personally feel like the dude called Sowore is going to make a lot of difference. Right? But again, is it going to get to that point where he's going to be president? I'm not sure. But, but I'm just saying personally, that's just what I feel like, I've been in a couple times, say whatever. And I know, because it's not about saying things. It's about doing the thing you say you're going to do. Everybody will go there and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But, it's the same old circle. They're going to come tell us stuff, tell us whatever. How you going to tell a man who's hungry, right? This dude is hungry. Are you going to tell him to take 5,000 naira? He going to take it. This is a man who's starving. He probably didn't even have lunch or whatever. He's been starving for a couple of days. Are you going to tell a man like that, don't take 5,000 from APC or PDP?
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Can I ask him a question, please? The last talk.
Is that Pransad?
It is Pansat.
Okay, Pransad, you can ask him a question.
Thank you very much.
Please, I also want to ask him a question, if you allow me. Thank you.
Alex, gonna wait.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Caller, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna take all the questions.
No,
I want you to attack me and do whatever. I know the game. Do what you gotta do. I'm listening.
Now, this is a friendly fire because I also have a lot of respect for Sowore and myself.
Right.
But let's use the analogy in the United States. Let's say when Obama came to the fore after Iowa and he was rocking and rolling his star.
Right.
But we don't really know what he's capable of doing. Is a new kid on the block, but his heart is in the right place. He looks good. But we know that Al Sharpton, it's a more grassroots person with more bona fides that can do what we want. He could paint the White House black if we wanted him to do that when he gets in there. But then we have a choice to make. He's really in the second, third, or fourth tier. He's not, he may not get it. Even Obama is barely squeezing in with the old school Clintons and people like that, the Bushes. Yeah.
Right.
So, but then we see Obama come, but he has a chance, and we may have to go to Obama before we get to Al Sharpton. So at that point, what do? Do you say, I'm not gonna vote for Obama because Al Sharpton is more black, it's more authentic? Or do you go ahead and say, Obama is fair, he's gonna make the country proud, he's gonna do a better job, he's gonna wrestle this thing out of the hands of the Bushes and the Clintons? So can you answer that? You know the analogy I'm trying to place, because I could make it more specific, but I think you get it.
I think I understand what you're trying to say. I'm not pretty sure what it is, but I think I understand what you're trying to say. But to answer your question, sir, right? This is the thing. When I see people say they want to do whatever, I'm gonna do things out of my conscience. You say to me, hey, I need you to give me $5, right? I want to get a haircut. And you not give $5, you use my money to get a bag of weed or whatever. I'm still comfortable. I give you money to get a haircut. Whatever you do with the money, that's all on you. I go with my conscience. I feel like, I voted for Obama, don't get me wrong, and I didn't vote for him because it was black. I voted for Obama because I feel like it was gonna change the status quo, right? It's the same thing I'm sure. Regardless of what it is, I'm gonna still vote for him regardless. Now, I'm not trying to say I don't believe in Peter Obi. Don't get me wrong, right? I believe in whatever he says, but at the end of the day, he a politician. Now, Peter Obi, I want to ask your good question, right? Now, Peter Obi, he come on right now. He say he's going to be, whatever Labour Party, right? Now, this is the thing. He left Labour Party just because he didn't get a ticket for PDP, right? So now, pretty much, if I got a ticket for PDP, it would have been Labour Party. And I'm not trying to say he a bad man. I'm just trying to let's just be real with ourselves, right? Because I don't want nobody to come tell me, hey, this thing is black, but this thing is white. You're not about to tell me what it is now, because I know the truth.
I know, but yeah, excuse me. I was gonna say you are. I agree with what you're saying, but it's non-responsive to my question to you. But when you said that you voted for Obama because he was gonna change the status quo,
right?
That's the way we feel about Peter Obi, that he's gonna change the status quo. He's not a military person. He's a Democrat.
Right. But again, everybody entitled to his opinion, though. I'm telling you how I feel about it. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's a bad man. I'm just saying that if I get in the position where I got to choose between APC, PDP, Labour Party, or Showore, I'm still going to choose Showore regardless. But if I feel like I'm backed up to the corner where I got like APC, PDP, and Labour Party, I'm gonna go for Labour Party.
Okay, yeah.
But if
I don't have any problem whatsoever with you. So we'll go to the next person. That's good. That's
yes. Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Welcome. It's a friendly firing. It's a friendly question. We are one on this platform. We're fighting for a better country. Okay. You said you don't have a problem with the Muslim tickets. You don't have a problem. If Obi was also a Muslim or Christian, you just need somebody to deliver for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to go really ballistic on you because you don't live in Nigeria. I'm talking to you from Nigeria. Okay, it's very easy. Listen. It's very easy. You live in your Western world in your comfort zone. So for you. Yeah. You can just say things. You don't know. No, I'm still talking. I'm still talking. Can I land, please? Can I land? It's a debate. Please, can I land? Is my floor. Listen, if your father, your grandfather is a farmer, for example, or my grandfather has been killed, or my grandmother has been raped by some Muslim dude who are dogmatized from the northern side of Nigeria, who are invading people's lands, invading my space, and they kill my own siblings, and we know it's a sensitive position right now in this country. Come on, guy, this is not the time to bring this kind of sentiment. The country is bleeding from the activities of these Islamic people. So you cannot tell me Muslim ticket is not, is not affecting the population just now. So
the border was murdered because of its Muslims.
Can I say something?
My question to you is this. My question to you is this. Considering the fragile nature of the country just now, do you think Muslim ticket should be the game now? We are not in America. This is Nigeria, where nothing is working, and one side of the country has taken over the country, and they are killing people nationwide. Instead of healing, you are still pouring more gasoline on the fire. What about that? And Showore is not a bad guy, but Peter Obi just seems to be more popular just now. So answer my first question. Thank you.
Okay, so now, all right. This is the same thing I was saying. I wasn't trying to get too emotional when it comes to talking about politics, because again, it's not my business. I just want a better society for everybody in Nigeria. So you said Muslim ticket is a big deal, right? But I'm telling you, that's all on you, though. But I'm telling you now, because look at everybody in Nigeria. We got the president who's a Muslim and the vice who's a Christian. What are you doing about it? Nothing. It's the same thing as you have a Christian, government, and you got, Christians killing people. They're still not gonna do nothing about it. You before Christian or Muslim. I was born into this world, and my mom told me, yeah, you're gonna be a Christian. If my mama told me you was gonna be a Muslim, I would have been a Muslim. So religion is not a big deal. Like it's just religion. Who cares about where you come from? Are you gonna tell me, just because Obama is from wherever you come from, we're not gonna vote for him because he's from wherever? Nobody cares. We just want someone who's gonna deliver, who's gonna do what he say he's gonna do. Who's gonna bring our people out of poverty. I got dudes calling me from Nigeria telling me they're hungry. I got charities. I got people I have to give money every month just for them to like get through the day because everybody's like literally like they can't feed.
All right.
So who cares about the religion? Like who cares about that? I got friends with Christians. I got friends with Muslims. I still gotta do what I gotta do for everybody regardless of religion.
Hear me, listen to me.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Like, I don't understand how people. We in 2020. You telling me someone is Muslim, someone is Christian? Who cares? I got Muslim friends. I live in New York.
Mr.
I got Muslim friends. I got Christian friends. Who cares about religion at this point? We just want someone who's going to do better for everybody.
Mr. Yemi, thank you very much for stopping by our channel, and I am very happy.
A lot of people still think like this. This is 2022.
Mr. Yemi, Mr. Yemi, can you listen to me?
Racism is a Christian. Christian is the Muslim. When you still got people killing people every day, day-to-day people.
Mr. Yemi, you have to listen to me. You just keep talking, dude. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I appreciate
lefties.
Coming on the program, my brother.
Yeah, apologies, man. Bro, I apologize for like getting too deep into this thing. I just wanted to come on this platform and tell people my views about things. You don't gotta take what I say, but I'm telling you how I feel about situations.
Can you not listen? You just listen a little. I gave you the space to talk, and I allow people to also ask you questions. It's usual. Normally, I'm supposed to say, okay, this is your time to talk. No, it's enough and all that. But I just allowed you. Why? Because you said it's your first time and you've been listening, and you came up with your opinion, and it isn't bad. For me, it's okay, fine. It's your opinion. Why I allowed you this is just because you said something like platform attack people that is not against Peter Obi and all that. But I just wanted to, okay, it's like you left also. I just wanted you to know that we're not against anybody. If you are still listening to me, hear me. We're not against anybody that is against Peter Obi. We okay, thank God you're back. Network problem. We are not against anybody that is not for Peter Obi. We are all one Nigerians. The moment we are here for one thing. We are here preaching one thing: good governance and good leadership. And I want to quickly just talk to you a bit. I understand you're talking from America and understand your state of mind. Personally, if you follow us before, you hear us saying we don't believe in religion. Whether you're a Muslim, Christian, it doesn't really matter to us. What matters to us is good governance and listening to people and giving the people what they want. But why? You see, Alice tried to make you understand why the issue of Muslim came in. You should also listen to Alice for you to be able to get the picture. Because you cannot use America and the way you feel to also champ on other people's feeling. Nigeria is multicultural and multi-ethnic.
Do you understand I'm Nigerian too? I'm just trying to let you know.
Yes. Why I'm saying this? Why this matter is like this? Before now, during Abiola, it was Muslim. Everybody voted Abiola because they wanted that change and they believe in the man Abiola. Nobody spoke of Muslim. They didn't look at the two. They were looking at the person. Now, why we are against APC? First of all, since APC came in on board, since they came on board, sir, I hope you are listening to me. They brought Nigeria from top to bottom. And not only bringing Nigeria from top to bottom, they tend to push in religion thing. I want you to look at me, please listen carefully. I'm not trying to tell you to like what I say. Look at all key sectors in the country. Who are the leader? Who are the administrators? It's all Muslims. They don't put no Christian there. Just allow me finish. 90% is Muslim. As if that was not enough, and the country keep going down with this to show that they are not smart, they have an agenda. Let me finish. I want to tell you why people react to it something lead to something. It just come up like that. Now, the insecurity that is being caused, who are these people kidnapping, killing, terrorizing? Are they Christians? No, they are Muslims taking over the whole state and the countries, kidnapping, killing Christians, killing Muslims too. But they are most Muslim. On top of that, and the country is becoming very fragile because this set of people have killed him and almost finished the country. Now, the same party that have brought Nigeria to where it is now coming up again to show that they don't have respect for Nigerian people and took Muslim and a Muslim, no federal character. That wouldn't that be a problem, judging from what has just been happening and the state the Nigeria is. Why would people not cry? You want to kill us? And mind you, tickets, the person they are speaking is somebody that have hidden, is on social media, is on papers, have hidden a bomber, people around bomber in his house, found in his house. It's somebody that is supporting people around. And you want such a person to be your leader as a Muslim?
You still keep going into religion. I'm not trying to cut you off, but I'm just trying to like.
Why I explained, I just want to explain that to you, that you understand why religion came in. Yeah. Like I started with, I don't believe in religion. I believe in proficiency, leadership, good governance. But now, from the history, you now see that they put in religion, they interlock their politics key with religion and start using religion to push it. And pushing into religion, a lot of risks got involved. And so certain parts of the country now started bleeding and saying, no, you are killing us. And still no solution. I don't believe in religion. I personally don't. But from this little history, would you blame those that are saying, no, we don't want it? It's an excuse anyway. But now the man Peter Obi came in. It is not on social media. You are in America, fly to Nigeria and go to the street and try to ask people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm in America. But
and you know that it's not just let me finish. I'll still give you the floor. You will discover that if you follow the trend, a lot of people are looking for how the country will be rescued. A lot of people are looking for somebody very different. Obi is not a perfect man. He's a politician. You ask a question. If he had gotten the ticket in PDP, would have left. Everybody would have still voted for him in PDP. Because the personality is what we are looking for. Now, you made mention of Sowore. Sowore has been in this program. You don't know. I want you to know that Sowore has come to this program. Before now, we're all talking about Sowore as one human rights activist who is standing on his own. But you don't force things, my brother. If you look now, it is not we that is selling Peter Obi. It is the people, so we have to follow the people. And so worried is not nothing is happening on the side. Assuming you are saying so worried, they are holding people, they are voting. You see us saying so worried. Not the best for Nigeria. It's not about one person. It's about the people. So worried was in this program, but we saw people not asking for Sowore as a person. Everybody do your research. Ask anybody you know in Nigeria to take a camera out to the street and start asking who are they and say how many will mention Sowore's name. It's not about that. It's about the people. Democracy is about the people. So we need to follow the people.
Could I add something to that before he responds, please? I want to add what you're saying. Yeah, gentlemen, I know you're Nigerian, so we'll have to also love you and respect you and your opinion. But you know, the issue of the North and the South is embedded in our Constitution, the doctrine of fairness. And you find that in what they call the federal character. The Constitution is as symbolic as it is. it tried to make Nigeria a nation that everybody can be proud of. So the way they've been doing it is, even in some of the constitution of the parties, is to have the North produce a president and then alternatively the South. But in the South, it's mostly Christians, and then in the North, it's mostly Muslims. So, but it's not worded in those terms. It's like North is geographic, quote unquote. So the only person who is trying to break that, but incidentally, your candidate, Showore, if he's here right now to make the case. Hold on.
He's not my candidate. I'm just telling you where I feel. I don't care for sure. I'm just telling you that from what it says.
Please.
I
got
you.
You
don't say my candidate. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
I take that back.
I'm for these. I'm for that. Okay.
So I take that back. What I meant is that, for example, Showore, if he's here saying what you're saying, he'd be a hypocrite. You know why? Because his running mate is a Northern Muslim. It's just the way it's customary in Nigeria. So to make it very fast for you, it's constitutional. There has to be equity. There has to be the doctrine of fairness. You can't just have one region or one religion ruling the country. It's just not going to work. Other people are going to want to break away. So to conclude, Tinubu is the only one who has been insensitive to this federal character doctrine, because the northern nominees, such as Atiku, has picked a Southern Christian. Obi, who is also a Southern nominee from the Labour Party, has picked a very ably qualified Nigerian that happens to be a Muslim in the North. So Tinubu, in his primordial politics, yes, is picking, instead of picking a Northern Christian to balance it out, obey this federal character doctrine, picked a Northern Muslim. Thank you.
Yemi, I have somebody that will be liking to talk. Miss John E. just joined us. I just hope you hold on a minute and let John E. speak.
Yeah, of course. Totally. Yeah,
Mr.
thank
John
you so much.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Good.
Wonderful. Well, greetings to everybody. I'm glad everyone's doing well. I was listening along, and I was like, man, this is getting interesting. Let me hop in. I love it when men can come together and talk about things that are important, even though we don't always agree. When we can come together and talk about things that are important, that affects us all, I think that's really important. And so I was so happy to hear the passion and debate. And Yemi, I didn't hear everything that you said. I also live in the States. I'm also I'm someone from West Africa. I don't yet call myself a Nigerian. Even though I have a Nigerian passport, I see myself as a Biafran. I don't see myself as a Nigerian, but that's neither here nor there. When it comes to the Muslim ticket, the reason why I would kind of disagree with you is a lot of what everyone else here has been saying, which is, Nigeria in a perfect world, where, things were just completely different in Nigeria, where they respect ethnic diversity, where they, maintain the original agreements that we decided to continue with after we got our independence. Because that was the basis of us continuing to be one country. That appreciation for our ethnic differences, that appreciation for our cultural differences, that appreciation for the fact that as individuals we should have autonomy. So in that perfect world, things may have evolved to the point where no one's talking about a Muslim ticket as such a big deal. But the reality is, no matter how much you try to sweep differences in culture, differences in religion, differences in ethnicity under the rug, those are real things. Now, I may not think that there's anything wrong with being a Muslim, there's anything wrong with being a Christian, there's anything wrong with being a Buddhist, et cetera, et cetera. But there are people in this world that do believe there's something wrong with being a Muslim, being a Christian, being whatever other sort of religion. And that's what you have to understand. It's not necessarily about how you think, it's about how other people think. And what you'll come to notice in this current 2023 campaign is that behind the candidates are ideologies. So behind somebody like Peter Obi, you have people that are supporting him that have a certain ideology. You have behind Tinubu, There's lots of people that have a certain ideology, right? And behind Kwakwanso and Atiku, these are ideologies. And so what you have to realize is that, I'm not saying you have to realize that as if you don't have a clue to it, but something that should be emphasized when you're thinking about a northern Muslim ticket is that we live in a country today where there are extremists, there are religious fanatics, there are claims and lots of evidence to back it up that those religious fanatics and those extremists have not only infiltrated the government, but they've infiltrated the military, and they have an agenda. And, this is not a, conspiracy theory sort of, dark side of the internet sort of conversation. This is basically a day-to-day reality in Nigeria, as you understand that the federal character that people are talking about is nowhere to be found. As you look through the various ambassadors, as you look through all the important positions within the government, whether it's security or policy, as you look through what's going on the ground, you hear about Taraba, you hear about what's going on in Benue. These are the same ethnic, religious groups that are carrying out these atrocities. And so in such a sensitive time like this, when the country already had no respect for individual differences of cultures and ethnicities and religion, you can't try and come and compound on that problem by having a Muslim ticket. Now, that's why I always try and say, like, many of us Africans, we probably would have a wonderful career in theoretical physics or theoretical mathematics, because most of what we say works in some perfect hypothetical world. But the world we're living in, the facts on the ground have the reality, and that's what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about the realities of Nigeria. The realities are that you can't have a Muslim ticket in such a country as Nigeria as it is today. So I get your opinion, man, and I understand that we all want a better country, but there are irreconcilable differences. So that's where I don't agree with you on that. Leftist, what were some other things that you guys were talking about?
Well,
can I say something about this Muslim thing? I think some of the way we are having the discussion about either Muslim bias in the north, from the north, and constitution, I think there is a little bit of a healthiness that seems to inspire inaction in terms of solution seeking. Because one of them is, whenever you talk about certain things, everybody wants to blame constitution. I want to buy a goosey soup. You have to rewrite the constitution first. I want to cross the road. It has to be a constitutional reform first. There is nothing you say, so people will not hack back to constitutional change, as if that is the be and end all of all solutions. People swear marriage, loyalties every day before God, and they go ahead to disagree with it anyway. Constitution is not at the heart of all our problems.
No, but Naija, to respectfully, I respectfully disagree with you, because listen, we as individuals, we don't come from the same culture, we don't come from the same ethnicity. Prior to the colonialism period, we were not bound by the same laws. Now, what we're trying to tell you is that Constitution is the foundation of the way we are forced to interact with each other. Maybe not on a personal level, but in terms of the sharing. I can guarantee you that if let me pick a culture outside of my own culture, because I'm from the Southeast, I'm Igbo. But let me just use Yoruba as an example. I can guarantee you, if Yoruba had their own country, there's no possible way that the Naira would fall from 161 to over 700 versus.
How? Let me tell you the way. Let me tell you the way. Hold on. Before you make assertions, let me give you a counter to that. Look at Somalia. They have common religion, common language, common everything, and they fought one of the longest wars on the continent. That should tell you something. America is one of the most diverse countries today because of so many immigrants in that country, yet they have more peace. The people are the problem. If you had the same blood, families fight each other to death too. If you don't know how to say no to division, become immune to division, you're going to find a way to fight. And I don't think we should be subscribing to this idea that, oh, it has to be constitutional change. It has to be because we are colonial people put us together. No nation is put together using a flower planting ceremony.
No, but
It's often by force.
You know, you're not. No.
I think I have to come in here.
Just one last point. Just one last point, because he made the point. You are not going to Nigeria if you think that the country is going to be forced to go through a series of constitutional amendments, and that is the way of keeping the country together, because some people in the country are too afraid to have a referendum or to change it, because as soon as you start to change your constitution, you have to have a referendum, and the Southeast is leaving. So since Nigerians are too afraid in order to actually have a level-headed conversation, that's
a very big assumption that the Saudis believe because they have a constitution. Let me make one thing clear. Even if I'm not, go ahead.
Can you please listen to me? And John E, please. It's okay. Listen. John E, I think you've spoken, and I just don't believe that Nigeria is too afraid to have that. You can say some parts of Nigeria are too afraid for the confab suggestion to be put into law or to be respected or activated. It's not the Nigerians. Major Nigerians are crying for change. We're asking for reforms. But some few, we both of us know where the problem is coming from. The very few that refuse to take education as priority. The very few that don't believe in education, that want to be very primitive, don't want this, because if it happens, it's going to affect them. They won't be able to cope. We know this. So let's not pretend as if we don't know where our problem is. It's actually not. We understand that the constitution is not perfect. But just like we've argued this, I said it before, just like Tunaja just said, it's not about really the constitution, it's about the people. A lot of things that's going wrong today, it's written right in the constitution, but it's going wrong in reality. What are the people done? And this very few that is afraid, they are making sure that it happens that way because they are afraid that they won't be able to meet up if they allow it the way it's supposed to be. America didn't grow on tribalism. It's a qualification. State of origin, somebody asked already, which I have made, is not supposed to be. I'm in Nigeria. If I'm qualified, let me go for it. If you are qualified, you give room for that competition and advancement. Let's not just miss it. The truth is open and it is there.
So let's just.
Yes.
I
just want Mr. Ejuru. He just joined us. Mr. Ejuru have not spoken before. I go round again and just call it a quick for the Ejuru have not spoken. So we don't just take the platform and don't allow people that just join not to speak. So Mr. Ejuru, please talk to us.
Yeah, Mr. Leftist, thank you very much. You see, that constitution issue we are deliberating on, we've been flogging back and front. There's a lot about that constitution, you know, like we all know already. That constitution was put together by the khaki boys, the military. And at the end of the day, they said, we the people. There's no people there because every constitution needs to be subjected to a vote, you know, in form of a referendum, like, you know. Yeah, there are some parts of the constitution that is good. I agree that. But the majority of what is in that constitution is wrong. I would say like 80%. You see our exclusive list. Let's even visit the exclusive list. Do you know the constitution is even causing problems to our power that we are not having? This electricity thing. Because most states are viable, they are eligible to generate their own power. But too many bottlenecks, they are not allowing them to do that. Look at those states. Godwin Obaseki have tried his best, but they keep pushing him left, right, and center. You know, so again, the constitution is good for nothing. That's the truth. It has to be visited. Like we need to really, really, like I always say in this show, Nigeria needs a reset, and for that reset to start is from that constitution. You know. Okay, look at the Supreme Court governor. Who gave him that seat there? the Imo State governor. It's still the same constitution we are talking about. Peter Obi said he went to court. That they should be interpret whatever, which the court did. That is one among 20. You know, so the constitution has caused more harm, more havoc than good in that country. So we must talk about it and provide a solution. We cannot keep amending the constitution. No, we have to bring it down. That's the truth, and reset it.
You know why
you know?
it is? The thinking is faulty. Because the Lagos, as you see today,
you see, only in Africa. Hold on, sorry, I'll give you. You interject. Just let me make this point. Let me land this point. Only in Africa, right? Thieves will be regrouping to loot. Only in Africa, thieves will be regrouping to loot again, and the youth whose future is being stolen will be celebrating it. It's because of that constitution. The same, yes, because of that constitution, because they made it that way. It's few persons. The people that wrote that constitution actually is the owners of Nigeria. The owners of Nigeria, and we know those owners of Nigeria. Obasanjo is one of them. IBB is one of them. Even this so-called Baba Integrity that is on the seat is one of them. You know, so Nigeria has a lot to go through.
Hey, Joe, we are losing you. We can't hear you.
For us to reset Nigeria, the floor to someone else. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
I need to respond to that directly. I need to respond to that directly because you can't just say that I get away with it.
Please, you don't need to respond directly. We try to follow laws, rules, and order here. Somebody just joined us that have not spoken. We've been here for like 4 hours, 30 minutes, and we'll soon be rounding up. I can't just be here for all night. So
people interrupt me, but it's okay.
Sir, I will come back to you. It's not like you're not going to talk. I say, just hold on. Somebody joined us. We're going to go around again. You can now say before we go. Somebody just joined us. Moderator, please. Good evening.
Good evening, leftists. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, you want me to say something?
Well, I have you the floor.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just sorry. I've just been in and out all day. I think somebody was talking about. I think you guys are talking about the Constitution now. I thought that was a topic for another day. But there's something the last person who just spoke. Sorry, sir, I cannot remember your name, but I don't understand when you say how the Constitution is affecting Governor Obaseki. I don't know if you guys expatiate on that. You know, okay, Mr. Ejiro, yeah. And then another thing I would disagree is that I would say the Constitution is not not a yardstick for any youth to be supporting an inept leader. You understand? So, you know, let us get the right information to people who are listening to us. You know, if it is your conscience and your right to know that if you have a bad leader, if you have a bad politician, you should be able to speak out and know your rights. So anyone who is supporting that person, it is not the Constitution that forces you. You did it on your own free will. I don't like to talk much about the Constitution because I think right now what Nigeria is facing is beyond the Constitution now. You know, I'm talking about present tense. What we should be addressing is the food insecurity, the protection of life and property of every Nigerian, youth unemployment, infrastructure deficit, the collapse of the value of the naira. You know, how do you guarantee law and order? Now, from what I have seen so far, I think the constitution that we all look on, the law is selective. In a space like Nigeria, it is selective because if a big man steals 18 billion naira, you know, he just get a pat on the palm. But if a man steals like a bunch of plantain, he goes to jail for 3 years. So, you know, we just have implementation of that's the problem, implementation of the law, which is selective. That is the problem, starting from the judiciary, the executive, even the legislators. Everything is Nigeria's economy is centered on who you know and who is above the constitution or who is above the law. So even if they amend the constitution today, the 30th of July, when you talk about implementation tomorrow, it will be selective, and who are the people implementing this? They're human beings, they're not spirits. So the bottom line is, if we put the right leaders who can implement these laws to the book, I think it would change things, because changing the constitution now, it's just written on paper. Somebody reads it, depends on who you are. If they want to read it or if they don't want to read it, you just pass. It's just like a dog eat dog society. You give me one, I give you one. That's just what it is. So I don't think, lefty, with all due respect and to everyone here, that we should ponder so much about the constitution, because Nigeria is facing a whole lot more than the constitution. And the only route that I think that we should go is to educate people more on why we need a new leadership, why we need a new a new Nigeria, and the way to go about it. So we need ideas, and I mean, I know a lot of you have been speaking on, the different ways. I mean, you guys have been speaking so well on different ideas of where Nigeria should be, but we don't want to be too pessimistic about what's happening, but we should be optimistic, and we should start addressing these issues that I just spoke about. Thank you.
Well, Leftist, may I ask Rita a question?
Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. John, you can ask me a question.
Yeah. So I think I know you're a really intelligent woman. I mean, you're from Africa. You have to be really intelligent.
I am from Nigeria. See, the problem with, sorry for Mr. John, a typical American will regard Nigeria as Africa. Africa, we all know, and I know that it's a continent, because the problem I have with you is that you always refer to Nigeria as Africa. Nigeria is a country. Yes, who's calling?
Rita, I know that Nigeria is a country.
Yes, so we're talking about Nigeria and not Africa. Please, we need to give people the right information. That's where I'm really particular about. We're talking about Nigeria, not Africa. Nigeria, please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, Rita, I know that I know that Nigeria is a country, and I know that Africa is a continent. What the statement that I made, as I said, that I know you're a really intelligent person because you're from Africa. That's what I said. I was giving you a compliment, and I was complimenting all of our wonderful sisters out there from the continent of Africa. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, Nigeria is a country. You're correct. But the thing that I think that me and you clearly don't agree on is that all of the things that you mentioned, from your currency to your electricity to your security to your education to all the stuff that you deem and find important, it's the operating system. If you want to make an analogy to a computer, the operating system of your country is your constitution. Now, you might not see it like that, but that is the fact. The basic instructions which you have to run your country by, whether or not people follow those instructions and follow those rules or not, that's a different story in terms of morality and whether or not those people are criminals, which Nigeria has a lot of those criminals. But the basic operating system and the basic instructions that allow you to run your country is the Constitution. And the only reason I'm focusing in on the Constitution is because we as individuals, we as cultures, we as ethnicities, we have not yet decided to operate under a common constitution. And the more you sweep it under the rug and the more you try and say that is not the problem, you are telling people, you are telling them that they have no choice but to associate with people that there's something called freedom of association. We don't have to be friends. So you cannot tell 70 million, 80 million, 100 million people that they must operate under the same instructions as you when they have not agreed to those instructions. I agree with you that it is just
respond?
No, say it again. Sorry, say that one more time, Rita.
I'm asking, may I respond?
Please,
I don't want to make it like me and you, because I know there are other people here.
Okay, we're just talking. Go ahead. Please respond.
I think you misquoted me. I did not say that Nigerians must follow the constitution and just sweep it under the carpet. That's not what I'm saying. I just said something. I said implementation of the law. Even this referendum we're talking about, it's done by human beings. It's done by Nigerians.
No, that's not true, though. But that's not true. A referendum based on the fact that it would be a referendum from the United Nations based on your ethnic group of indigenous people is not done by Nigeria. That is
Okay.
that is
Can I?
incorrect for you to say that.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Oh my God. Okay,
Go ahead.
because this should be like a different topic of another day, so I don't want to touch it. My
Johnny,
point
supposed to
here.
respond to that guy or shut off.
Wait.
Madam Rita,
My
please.
point here. Oh, sorry. Left. You said
Madam
what?
Rita, Madam Rita, no, sorry. I just wanted to meet you both up because Johnny said referendum is done by where? America. I don't know how he said it.
No, I didn't say that
United
it was done by
Nations.
So if you look up what actually gives you the right to self-determination, it has Nigeria is a signatory to it, but it has nothing to. Nigeria is not the one that's going to be carrying out. Nigeria can't even carry out a credible election. You think they're going to be the ones that carry out a referendum? The people that give the entities that give you the right to self-determination.
Lefty, you see what you are doing. You are letting other people talk. When I want to talk, you shut me off.
Listen, who is that? Two Niger.
You have fun of doing it. You let other people talk, but you don't let me talk.
Man, calm down. Calm down.
To Niger, I don't understand why you're calling me. I don't let you talk. Margarita just came in, spoke. Somebody asked a question, and I allow her to respond. She just
And
came
the
in.
person was talking for more than 1 minute.
Yes, we've been here. They just came in. Margarita just came in. And I want to go around at random. So I don't need to come. I don't need to seek permission from you first. I just told you, hold on. I will come back to you. Allow this person that just came in have her time. And she's enjoying her time. You are interfering. I haven't interfered now because Ms. John E said something. I was not clear. I want to be clear of it. I interject and ask her to wait and ask because it's her time. And definitely I'm going to
wasn't her time when you shut me off. You decide whose time it is. She just jumped in and she didn't even know what the topic was. You're very quick to shut me off.
I don't just pick people. The way people come, that's how I write them down. And the way you talk, I mark. You've spoken. Somebody that just came now wants to speak and is speaking. You are saying, I shut you up.
Lefties, please, can we move on, please? Can we just move on? Because this is the delay tactics. Nobody can hold us down.
When people argue, when people tell me things that I openly am doing openly in good faith. It make me go crazy.
Sorry, sir. Lefty, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
No,
Lefty.
It's not about you. It's about.
I know it's okay because it's pretty late on your end. I mean, it's very daylight time where I am. So, it's okay if the gentleman speak. We'll probably speak tomorrow another time, but that's fine. The show has to go on.
I will soon be rounding up. I just wanted us to clear. You and John clear this.
Me and John is another day. Me and John is another day because there are other people on the panel.
I just wanted to clear that. Then what I wanted to do was to clear that. Then start again from Let Go to Niger, Pansat, then round up. I have my program, so you just be patient.
Anyway, okay. It's okay, Mr. Tunaja can go ahead. Seriously,
no,
can go ahead.
Not his turn now. He has to wait.
Okay,
you know. See what I mean?
No, hold on. Since you say it's okay, I want to start all over now, and I'm starting from Let Go. After Let Go to Niger. After to Niger, Pansa. This is fine. I'm just trying to follow the way the program
This is the most fair person on the.
I
say it all the time, and it's true.
I don't just call this person and forget this person. No, I use the way it is and allow you to exhaust your time before I go to the other person. I don't just forget to call this. I have lists. Each time you see me here, I'll call out every list the way you came. If you go and come back, the position you left, I will call you. You will still be that way because you were there before. I'm very organized. I don't just come here and talk or call people the way I like. Anyway, I'm starting all over again since To Niger just reset us. Thank you for resetting us. So we start from Let Go. Let Go. 2 minutes,
yes.
Please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, To Niger, I really thank you today because I've been listening. You know, initially when you make a comment, when the first speaker was asking you
if they conduct election today, who are you going to vote? So I really thank you for today because I listen very, very careful to every statement each person make. And I don't interject. I pay attention until it gets my turn. So thank you so much to Niger. Yeah, what I want to say is this. It's not all about the constitution right now because Nigeria is burning. We have this constitution because, see, even though if the constitution is not right, if the current administration did inclusively engage in all parts of the country, I think we will not be having this situation in our country today. But because they failed to do so, and one side part of the country took that as an advantage, and now the country is broken. So what we will be talking about now is how are we going to get back our country before we start dealing with this constitution and the part that is wrong and the part that is right. Because right now we cannot change this constitution. Now it's all about decency. The people we want to get into the office, the people we have to hold accountable, the people that have the country at heart. That is what we should be fighting for. And I have said it before. It's all about going to take you one vote, get one person, whether you like Labour Party, whether you like APC, whether you like PDP. We have to go for the competency. What message are they passing to us? There are some people that are above the law. There are some people that believe in you and me for Nigeria to be well. So it's all about choice. Let us make choice. Take away your emotion. Take away your religion. Take away your tribal. Take away who you are. Let us vote to save our country. And I think right now, the best candidate in this race is Labour Party. Labour Party has the best candidate that can bring us back. He's not going to do a miracle, but with them in the office, we are going to start to hold our leaders accountable. And the likes of the cabals will be eliminated in our political space. That is what we should be fighting for, not the constitution right now. Thank you.
Yes, to Niger, thank you. Please excuse me, your time is your time. I agree. It's your time now, but I want to quickly use your time to want to thank our wonderful brothers that just supported us. This is his first time of coming on the program. The man almost changed my tongue to America accent. I've been one because to talk like America. Yo, man. That is Yemi. Mr. Yemi, God bless you. Thank you very much for this super chat. I really appreciate your opinion and this is your first time. And in fact, I was thinking I am not an American man because I almost borrow your tongue. Thank you. And not just that, and now you are supporting us very well. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I want to also thank Joseph OG for all his super chat. Oh, super chat is just coming. Did I say I want to close before? I don't think I will go again. To Nigeria, just be talking.
All right. All right then. All right then. So as the gentleman earlier on said something about the Windows operating system, I think the analogy is more similar to us having Windows 10 and everybody that wants a constitutional review wants Windows 11, and they are never satisfied because they don't seem to understand that you still get to go to work even if you want a constitutional change, and you cannot use a demand as an excuse for paralysis and inaction to solve problems at hand. That is the problem that many of these constitutional change activists tend to forget. You have to somehow function while demanding constitutional change, because I'm not welded to the current constitution. I think that when Nigeria gets to a better state, one can get to that point. But at this time, arguing amongst ourselves with this state of mind that we are in, do you think you are going to write a good constitution? And somebody tells me that suffer head doesn't make for a good constitution. You have to have a clear head. And secondly, our problem is not necessarily coming from the constitution, because the UK doesn't even have a constitution. They don't even bother, and yet they run circles around the world. All these examples are all there. The issue is the people. Our mindset needs to change. because the way we look at parts of Nigeria, we don't even see them as part of our country. And I just saw a documentary this week where the Hausa and the Fulanis are actually fighting each other. And somehow we in the South think, oh, the North are just the same. They are all one people. When a majority of the group in the North have basically been marginalized politically. You know, that's the largest ethnic group in Africa, in Nigeria, is the Hausas, and they've never had a president. And we just don't see that because we are too into ourselves. We are one people. We have been there long time. We were there before even the very creation of Europeans. And yet, we can't even recognize ourselves anymore, as if there's some kind of voodoo that has been done to us to not even see that. In the end, we still, our problem is because we haven't gotten out of the mindset of being colonized. I just had Governor Autumn yesterday talking about how he had to go to the UK and the US to go and make his case. I asked myself, make his case to who? Who are you making your case to? No, you mean the people that Buhari used to go to for his treatment, that Tinubu has to go for treatment, and technically Peter Obi has a child in the West. All these things we do tells us that our leaders are not beholden to us. This is our problem. It's not only this in Nigeria. Even if you ground Fulanis to dust today, you ground the entire North to dust, the problem will still remain, because Fulanis are not in Somalia, they are not in Congo, they are not in Mozambique. All the problems Africans are suffering is still going to remain there. They are not in Haiti. Our problem is our weakness, our inability to come together and realize that we have the numbers to defend ourselves and grow and actually take charge of our inheritance. We don't control anything. We as a people don't control our oil resources. We don't control our borders. We don't even control our security. This is the source of our real problem. Until we start realizing that we are all in the same boat together, and we need to come together and start talking honestly about how we are going to fix our problems and take charge of our country, not let other people tell us what to do. This is what has been happening for the last 500 years. Other people are telling us what to do. Can you imagine what our forefathers did? Oyibo man come to this our country for 400 years before they colonized us. None of our forefathers decided to learn how to build a ship. None of them decided to learn how to make a gun. They just sat there and took it and fought each other to a standstill. They kept fighting each other, and they took over the whole country. And we are still carrying on from where they left off. That is what we need to stop, because the threat we are facing now is bigger than Fulani. This thing, we are all in the same boat. That's why I like what that African American guy said when he complimented the Nigerian lady with saying African, because he seen from a bigger picture. Because we are all facing a continental problem. See, we have multiple identities. That shouldn't be confused. See, you have a driver's license. You have a driver's license. You have your traditional group's license. You have your Nigerian passport. Everybody have multiple identities. That should not be confusing. You can be African at the same time be Nigerian and from your tribe. You understand what I'm saying there? So we have to realize that we have a common goal here, including the people in the diaspora. If we don't work together, our weakness will remain. That is at the heart of all our problems. If you think it's only Nigerian problem, look at all around you. The problem is everywhere.
Super chat is the super sticker is not coming again. I'll be rounding up.
All right, now I think I'm done anyway. I think I've ranted enough. Thank you.
Thank you. After Tunaja, I go to Yemi. After Tunaja is Yemi on my list. Yo, Yemi, quickly just round up 2 minutes.
Hey, well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. I mean, appreciate it every time I come up on this platform. You know, again, yeah. I still stand on my views and the way I see things. It's not gonna change. You know, this is the same thing I was saying. Now people still, you know, we could be Muslim, we could be Christian. You still gonna bash me anyway. I'm sure everyone on this platform is Christian or whatever, but we still have differences. So, I mean, it's not about religion, man. But I'm gonna let it slide. You know, but I'm just trying to say, like, you know, we can. At least have open mind and we can come on this platform and tell how to feel about situations. You know, don't bash them, man, because I feel like everyone trying to bash me because and someone said, "Oh, you show your man." Man, I don't care about show. I don't even know that man. I never met him a day before in my life. You know, but again, the things to say is, man, you know, I'm not gonna go too deep into religion because I feel like it's a very sensitive topic, and you know, we still gonna go back and forth regardless. But again, I respect how you feel. Um, that's my opinion. You know, I live in a society where I wake up in America, right, and I have to live with the fact that I go to work every day, and people look at me like, "Oh, you're Nigerian, and you scammer," you know. Like I feel like I gotta like prove myself 10 times by everybody else just because I'm Nigerian. I mean, I don't want to live in this part of the world forever. Like I want to like at some point go back home and where I'm from. I mean, my dad, for example, he lived there for a couple of years and he's back home right now doing his thing, but I still fear that one day they're probably gonna call me and tell me like, oh, someone try to, pick my dad up, try to get a ransom. Like it's just about mentality, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I wanted to change. It's not about people, whatever. I don't care about Peter Obi or Shogo yet. I just want to get to Nigeria where I could go back home and feel like I'm, a Nigerian. Like right now, man, I don't know, man, but you're doing the good thing, like but I just feel like we can't have a more open mind and just don't bash people because of what it feels like. You could have a dude from APC or PDP come to this platform, let him say what they gotta say. That's how he feels. Is he getting paid for saying what he's saying? No, it's just how he feels. Like I said, I don't care about nobody. I just want to be in Nigeria. Well, that's kind of like all I gotta say. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate for letting me on this platform. I really do appreciate it.
All right, thank you, brother. Thank you very much. I appreciate it too. Pansa, talk to us 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, leftist. You are a good host. I say that all the time, and I don't want anybody thinking otherwise. It's not an easy job to do. And then when you have such a brilliant panel assembled here, what can I say? It's been enjoyable. A lot of my remarks are gonna go to Niger, who I'm very interested in having him get out of the boat and help tow it to a safe destination. Because if we're sitting in a boat and we're stuck, and you're sitting in that boat and you're talking about what we're going to do when we get to our destination, the best thing is to get out of the boat, help tug it out of the ditch, and then move on. We all know Peter, but there are things that are known already. He's capable, proficient, he's adroit, expert, because he goes to many places and study the issues that before Nigeria. He goes to where there's been success. I mean, he's keeping it simple. He takes whatever the United Nations recommends, looks at it, and then try to implement it. That's what he did in his state. So he's knowledgeable, qualified, trained, efficient. He's a good, excellent, brilliant guy. Habile. In the sense of Habile. I have an accent. So when I say ha, I don't want you confusing it with Her. So to Nigeria, the reason why I'm coming to you is that, I agree with almost everything you say, even though I term them to be highfalutin. In essence, it's not in the sense of pretentiousness, but it's just overdone, overblown, looking at, they say you want to make Africa to be able to be equal to the Europeans. You want to make Africa not to take orders, rhetorically, looking for the big picture, try to get us to where we belong. So it's not practical because we have to get Nigeria right. If we get Nigeria right, then we're going to go to the next level, which could be integration of African willing states to then have common markets, common military, common defense. But at the moment, we are teetering on the abyss, at the edge. We have to get Nigeria done. So my appeal to you, because I haven't go about all these forums and I pick out talents, I pick out people who are very strong Africans who are strong and they could make the point, they're educated, and you just happen to be one of those people that needs to come on board, but have the priority right. We're gonna have Nigeria done right first. We don't
Okay.
have a choice of who to choose from. We have about 3 or 4 serious candidates, and out of those 3 or 4, one of them is going to be president. So who do we want to talk about? So if you come here, are you talking about highfalutin terms, talking about making black men great? Then it's like a distraction. You're not using your talent very well. We want to select. So I had so many other things to do to say, including some comments in the comment section from Jaja. There were a lot of phrases, but they're very important and pertinent to our discussion. And the lady, I can't tell her name. It almost sounds like Margareta. Make me thirsty to have some Margareta. But she is very brilliant. Some points she made, I wanted to take a nibble at, but I'll leave it right there because I'm being rushed. I have a lot to say, but thank you, panelists. It was a very, very good discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You overuse your 2 minutes because the super chat is. I was hoping to super chat before, but it did not come. So I had to stop you now.
Okay,
so,
I'll make it up. All right, thank you.
Please talk to us, John E.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that was me. Thanks again. I really enjoy coming here, and even though we don't always have to agree, it's like I said, it's the best feeling in the world when Africans come together. You know, people in Africa, people in the Caribbean, people all over, us come together, and I mean, it's the most beautiful thing, really, it is, and I'm so grateful for that sort of opportunity. I would say to Niger, I mean, like I said, most of the stuff you say, I agree with you in terms of what the ends look like. Like I agree in United Africa. I agree about a black man and a black woman that's not confined by what Europe thinks or what Asia thinks. I agree with all of you, all of that stuff on a high level. Like, of course, that makes sense. But I think where we disagree is that I believe that the foundation has to be built strong before anything else can kind of progress. And so when I was hearing Yemi speak, Yemi, like what you said, like it hits home because, here in America, you might see a French guy and, during the summer, he takes his family to France and they get to experience their home country. You see an Italian guy, same thing. You see an Asian guy from China, same thing. You see someone from even Brazil, they go back to Brazil. But us people here who carry a green Nigerian passport, there's shame. There's real shame in being a Nigerian. I don't know if I don't know if everyone knows this. Maybe you're living in Nigeria and you think that, once you get to America or once you get to Europe, there's shame. There's countless stories of just when you say you're from Nigeria, people immediately start to look down on you. And us that were, let's say, born in the Western world and grew up not thinking from the point of view of anything other than we want a country that we can believe in, we had to really start to dig deep and understand why is the country like this? Where are the problems emerging from? So when someone like me comes and says like, hey, listen, I don't believe in Nigeria anymore. I believe in self-determination. I believe that people should have the right to associate with whoever they want to associate with. It's not coming from a place of malice. It's not me coming and saying, oh, I don't like Ibibio people. I don't like Hausa people. I don't like Yoruba people. No, there'll always be a place called the Niger area. There'll always be a Niger area. But what we're going to experience, because if the foundation is not right, it's going to topple. So what is going to happen is that though there's still going to be a Niger area, the politics and, call it break up, call it whatever you want, there's going to be a reorganization. And that's going to bring us to a round table because you cannot build on a faulty foundation. And what we need more than anything else is what we have right now, where I can sit where I'm sitting, where you can sit where you're sitting, and we see each other as equals. That's the most important thing. And if you're saying that and I'll just round up here, leftist, but if you're saying that a minority group, because you've said it, a minority group is the reason why we can't do. So is that minority group, you can't change 2,000, 3,000 years of how they've been thinking. Are you saying they are not going to be a part of the new Nigeria? Are you going to force them to change? Is your plan to, or do you just believe that people don't deserve self-determination? People don't deserve to decide whether or not to be in the country. Now, if you want to just tell me that, certain ethnic groups within Nigeria do not deserve the right to determine for themselves whether or not they should be in Nigeria. If that's your stance, okay. But if you believe we have the right, then, you know, I think we can start to have a real conversation. But thank you, everyone. And again, Rita, beautiful African women everywhere, even in the Caribbeans. All right, not just limited to Nigeria. You take care.
Thank you very much for that compliment for Richard. Please support that compliment to Super Chat. That would be better. Rita will hear more. So, Ejiro, please talk to us.
Yeah, Mr. Lefties, thank you once again for having me. And I want to salute your temperament. I've watched you over time, and you still maintain that same temperament, you know, for managing people. You're able to manage a situation. And to our panelists here, I want us to understand that we coming here will always have difference of opinion. You know, we cannot agree on everything. That is one thing for sure, you know. You see, life is the most difficult exam. Many people fail because they try to copy others, not realizing that everyone has a different question paper. You know, that is life. I want to quickly say this. I'm proud to be a Nigerian, but ashamed of my government. You know, most people will say, or let me say this, without no offense. I don't want anybody to pick offense. Nigerians do not want to, most Nigerians do not, let me use the word, most Nigerians do not like to take responsibility for their actions or inactions. We've seen it over and over again. They blame everyone else but themselves. They do not believe that they should take the lead in making the country a better place. Most Nigerians believe in begging. Our youth, most of our youth today, that is why they carry ballot boxes for politicians. They prefer to take peanuts and vote the wrong person, you know. They beg and beg and beg others to take a responsibility that is purely theirs. You know, you don't do that. You simply cannot build a global superpower when your population think this way. A higher level of thinking is required. You know, so I believe time has come, and now is the time. Peter Obi is the right man for the job. The longing for a better Nigeria is in the heart of all. The age, the adults, the youths, children. You know, this is the best time to be alive. I just pray God help us, because Peter Obi is like a spring of living water. The wise are rushing in. You know, so we just have to key in, and we'll leave the rest for God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Rita, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, leftist. Just to make a correction to Mr. John, many Caribbeans do not like to refer to themselves as African. So when you say that, you know, like I always say, you need to really decipher Africa, Nigerian, Caribbean. It's separate. You know, we cannot force people to be what they don't want to be. So that aside, truth and hunger cannot live in the same house. What Nigeria is going through is because we have a lot of leaders who are hungry. They are hungry for power. They are hungry for wealth. They are hungry for control. They are hungry for a sadistic kind of authoritarian leadership. Somebody's TV or somebody's thing is on. It's kind of distracting. Can somebody mute that noise?
It's muted. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, truth and hunger cannot live in the same house. And the hunger for the kind of the crop of leaders that we have, they're hungry for control, power. They want people to be subordinate to them, kiss their feet, you know, hail and say Baba or Megida, or they want to say is a chair. They just hunger for that, you know. So that is why when you have a crop of leaders in the house of hunger for those things, truth will be lacking. There'll be a deficit of truth in the constitution, deficit of truth in style of leadership. You know, so that is what we are facing today. And There's another thing. They said when a fish gets rotten, it starts from the head, right? Now, this leadership, I'm going to go back there again. The rot of Nigeria starts with leadership. Nigeria's operate, let me use Mr. John's word, operating system, the constitution that he talks about. Nigeria's operating system will function properly when you have the programmer. Now, the programmer of that operating system is the leader, and that is Peter the Rock Obi. If you don't have a leader like that man, the operating system, constitution, or whatever you want to call it, is not going to work, because when you have a leader that walks to the book, a leader that leads by example, a leader that is not a religious bigot, a leader who is not hungry for power, who is not wasteful. Like we have the wasteful style of governance in Nigeria, who is not wasteful, others will follow. So that's why when I was referring to, like, talking about if you can change the constitution today, as long as we have the style of leadership today, like I keep saying, a frog can be the president of Nigeria, and it is true. But when that leadership change, when Peter Obi the Rock becomes the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by the special grace of the Almighty, others will follow. Even all these corrupt National Assembly members now, you will see the topics that will be coming up in the National Assembly. Serious talk. Now, what they're just doing, playing, is what they call panya. They're just playing left, right, center. This one will bring 300 wives. I control my house. I control 5 wives and many more children to come. The other one is talking about vacation. The other one is going to Harvard. They're just playing panya. As far as me, I'm concerned. Leadership, the operating system will function if there's a good programmer, a good leader. And that leader is Peter the Rock Obi. That's all I have to say. It's not so much talk. Thank you. Good night, everybody. It was lovely talking to you all. Bye.
Oh, finally, she have told us good night, meaning to say I should just forget no more super chat. Oh no. It's not you that would have said this, so I would have
Let
still
me
been
say
here.
good night to everybody, not you now. Everybody can leave, but you can remain here now. Since you
Only
want to
me
stay.
talk to myself. Do I look like all these politicians?
It's already 5 hours. So he has been here since almost 5 hours now. More than 5 hours.
Tried. It's more than 5 hours now. He tried.
Yes, I want to say thank you to every one of you that find our time to join us in this broadcast, especially you people at home that started and you are still here. And for those that started and went to sleep, it is your right to thank you. And I want to thank the few people that called in, Monday and Pius. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your call. Everybody on the comment section, I know I almost mentioned you all. For those I did not mention, please forgive me. I know I also put you on the screen. Don't forget to like all the time and also share our video. You can also join our membership program through the official number. It's very important. Another note, I want to thank those that were able to make it to the panel. First here on my list is Mr. Andrew. He came first and he spoke twice and he left. I want to say thank you, Mr. Andrew. Followed by Mr. Frank. He spoke once and he just left. Mr. Charles, thank you also very much. You spoke once and you left. Bushi Okafo, thank you. You spoke once and you left. Brother Nice, my brother. Yes, you spoke twice before you left. Let them say you spoke twice and you really stayed with us. Alice, oh, Alice. Oh, I say, oh, Alice again. You tried. You spoke twice. You went. You came back. You went. You came back. It's always going and come back. Thank you very much for standing by. Let go. You came, you spoke once. Ebosun, yes, the man that spoke from what country was spoken like an Hausa man. And it really made sense. Spoke once. Aigbe came. I actually was almost calling for Aigbe that I have not seen him. I called him before now. He did not pick, but luckily for me, he came and also signified I saw my call, but he is in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Aigbe. Thank you very much. Mr. Ken, Engineer Ken came, but he did not speak. He just left. Chooks, Obi Boys, yes. Thank you. You came, you spoke. Collins, yes. To Niger, oh no, my brother, you've been here talking. You actually had your 2 times, but you spoke more than 100 times.
Oh God.
Big show. Big show, you came, you waited, you did not speak, you left. It's very unfortunate. I would have loved to hear you talk. It's quite nice having you anyway. Thank you very much for coming. Yemi, the very first man that almost tore my tongue to be talking like the Americans. And today, he surprised me. His first time of coming on the show, and he also did the support of Super Chat. Yemi, God bless you. Thank you very much. And I just hope you continue to follow us and join us. God bless you. Thank you very much. Pansas, my brother, thank you very much. John E, yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you very
everybody.
much. Ejiro, yes. Thank you. And finally, my director.
Thank you.
So on
Thank
this
you.
note,
Thank you. Good night.
we'll just be drawing show.
It's better than sacrifice.